make one change from their impressive opening day victory over Croatia as Nacho drops out with a muscle problem and is replaced by the fit again Aymeric Laporte. It means La Roja will line up with Simon in goal. It's a new look back four of Carvajal, Lenormand, Laporte and Cucurella. Pedri, Rodri and Fabian Ruiz make up the midfield, with the 16-year-old Lamine Yamal on one wing, Nico Williams the other, and captain Alvaro Morata leading the line up front. As for Italy, they named the same 11 that came back from conceding the fastest goal in European Championship history to beat Albania in their opening game. Donnarumma is the goalkeeper. The back four once again of Di Lorenzo, Bastoni, Calafiori and Di Marco. Jorginho and Barella make up the deep-lying midfield roles, with Fratesi, Pellegrini and Chiesa behind the former West Ham forward Gianluca Scamacca in attack. The winners will go through and they will top the group in the process. It's Spain against Italy.
Alex, thank you very much. So those are your teams. Let's take an in-depth look then at today's action with Burger King.
Big Match Roundup on Talk Sport with Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now.
Well, joining Alex on commentary for tonight's game, it's the former Newcastle manager. Good evening, Alan Pardew. How are you doing, Alan?
I'm good. How are you, Faye? You okay?
Yeah, all very well here, thank you. Before we focus on this game that you're at in Gelsenkirchen, we've got to talk about what we've just seen with England taking on Denmark. A less than convincing performance. We wanted more after that opening victory over Serbia, but it seems as though we got worse.
I think that's for sure. I think Stuart was spot on. Some of the individual performances were way below the level we would expect from those individuals. And as a team, we sat too deep again, gave Denmark far too much time, particularly at the back, to kind of dictate the game for long periods. And in attack, at times, we looked flat. So it's a really worrying performance, and something, that you don't want at this time. You had the first game. The second game, you should see some kind of improvement. We haven't seen that. We've gone backwards. So a lot of head scratching with Gareth and the team, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of regression that we see, once they take the lead, as they did again tonight or today against Denmark, we see them retreat. Now, is that something that has come from the manager, or is that just the players, you think, just for whatever reason, all of them collectively just deciding that maybe the pressure, they don't want to concede and they're all retreating?
Well, I said on the morning show, and I said it earlier today, that I just think Declan Rice takes himself too deep. Now, whether that's, being asked by the manager to do that, or he does that just on his own back, I don't know. But the midfield four then sit on top of him quite deep, and so you end up with two number 8s instead of a number 10. So then really, we can't get any pressure on the centre halves, and then when we do come out, we get passed around a little bit. So I think that's got to be resolved, and particularly when we take the lead. When we've gone out of the last two tournaments, we've taken the lead and sat back and punished. We almost got punished in the first game, and we certainly got punished today, and fortunate in a way that we come away with a draw.
Yeah, I mean, look, if there are any positives to take, in the first game, Gareth Southgate was criticised for not making substitutions early. Well, he did that in the second half, and Carl Walker mentioned it's tournament football. 4 points from 2 games doesn't make for bad reading.
No, but I think, it's like anything else. They're going to get a lot of negative press tomorrow. Yeah. I think we're all aware that's going to happen. So you get that kind of funny feeling in the group that, are we good enough? You have doubt. You don't want to enter games with doubt and pressure. You actually want to enter them free-flowing. A bit like the Spain are entering this game after their victory the other night. Emphatic, their confidence is high. You expect them to start well tonight. So I think that's what, when you're a manager, you want that kind of cemented home, that belief. And I don't think that they're going to have that in that final game. They're going to have to try and find it then.
All right, Alan, stay there, because Gareth Southgate, the England manager, is waiting to speak to us. So let's take you back to Frankfurt and our England correspondent, Faye Carruthers.
Thanks very much, Nat. Gareth, a difficult evening in terms of the reaction from the fans, a point on the board. but not the performance that we were expecting from England. What did you make of everything?
Yeah, no, I think that's fair comment. I thought, firstly, we're playing a good side who, because of the formation they play, the back three isn't easy to press, but we didn't do that with enough intensity, which meant that we were ending up having to defend deeper. And then with the ball, we haven't kept the ball well enough in the last three halves of football. So as the game wore on, that created anxiety because we're conceding possession of the ball in our own third, and of course that heightens the alert for the group. So yeah, there's a lot for us to look at. There's a lot for us to put right. We accept, or I accept full responsibility for that, and I have to find the right solutions to improve what we're doing.
When you say you accept responsibility for it, in what way? What isn't working and why isn't it working?
Well, I accept responsibility because I'm the manager, and ultimately anything that comes our way I take. That's the most important thing. I think we've probably already talked through the things that aren't working, so we have to find solutions to improve what we're delivering at this moment in time.
Would you say it was a worse performance than Serbia when you said we can do better? It didn't feel like that was better tonight.
No, I think that's fair. A different type of game, different sort of challenge. Look, this is our arena. We have to be able to handle it, and tonight was a classic example. You're playing in a highly charged game, fantastic atmosphere in the stadium, but huge stakes, and we have to accept that we've got to be dealing with that in a more positive way than we have.
There's always an accusation levelled at you that when England go ahead, you tend to sit back. I just asked Kyle Walker that, whether it was an instruction or whether the players naturally do that. He said there's no instructions, so why does that happen every time?
Well, today, because I am at risk of repeating myself, but we didn't press well enough and we didn't keep the ball well enough. So it's very simple. If you do those things, you end up defending more and you end up deeper in your own half. Now, profile of some of the players we've got, we have to accept the way that we can press is a little bit different, but we've got to find the best way of doing that, and that's the challenge that I have to take on.
Do you think the Trent Alexander-Arnold experiment in midfield is working? I know you've been working on it for a year now, but obviously you decided a change was needed 10 minutes into the second half with Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, I mean, I understand you're saying we've been working on it for a year, but that's a matter of days, really, in reality. So I felt, as with the three forwards, we needed fresh legs. We needed people that were going to press the ball better at that stage of the game. Trent's done some things that we're really happy with. There's obviously, for the whole team, things that we can be better at, and I thought Conor gave us that energy and was able to get around the second balls that were there were a lot of those dropping in that midfield area. So, but it's been a difficult baptism for him in that area of the pitch. Two teams that cause you a lot of decisions with and without the ball, and the whole team, bar the beginning of the first game, haven't played at the level that we'd like.
You've talked about energy. You've mentioned energy on a number of occasions when we've spoken. Why was there no energy tonight? I mean, I know it was very hot pitch side. Did that affect the players? Did the roof being closed affect them as well?
I think a lot of this is psychological. In the end, if you keep the ball, you grow in confidence. You feel like you have more energy. If you concede possession, anxiety creeps in. You can hear the reaction from the side, and as I said earlier, this is the arena we're in. We have to handle that, and we have to accept expectations are higher, and we have to find the best way of delivering with that expectation.
Thanks very much, Gareth.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that was Gareth Southgate then in conversation with our England correspondent Faye Carruthers. It's 4 days between now and Tuesday's game against Slovenia. 4 days for England to work on what they need to improve for that game in Cologne. Let's take you back to our commentators for this game between Spain and Italy to just get their take on what we've just heard there from Gareth Southgate. That's Alan Pardew and Alex Crook. He talked a lot there about a lack of pressing and a lack of ball possession, and that's why England didn't deliver a performance this evening, Alex.
I think there's lots of reasons why they didn't deliver a performance. I don't really get this rhetoric. They've all trotted it out there. We heard from Kyle Walker and Kieran Trippier earlier as well, and Gareth Southgate used the same phrase to describe Denmark as a good side. I'm not sure Denmark at this level are a good side anymore. They're not the side that got to the semi-finals of the last Euros. They were dreadful in the World Cup in Qatar. They hadn't won any of their last 5 tournament games coming into this one. They're a difficult side to break down, but they're not a team who are going to go deep in this competition. So let's dispel that myth straight away. And he talked about Trent Alexander-Arnold there. I don't think anybody thought that was going to work against this type of team where you do need runners in midfield who are going to press the ball, but also England's team isn't set up for Trent Alexander-Arnold to play that role that Gareth Southgate is trying to mould him into, because you've got Kyle Walker at right back, doesn't really want to race in behind. You've got Kieran Trippier playing out of position at left back, who's always going to cut inside, and you look at the forward players, only Bukayo Saka wants the ball played by Trent Alexander-Arnold in front of him to run onto. Kane drops deep and wants it to feet. Foden wants it to feet. It's not going to work with Trent Alexander-Arnold.
And also,
he should have realised that before today, and he should have certainly realised it at half time. Why did he come back out for the second half to go off after 9 minutes?
Well, look, you know, you're also trying to press with one man missing, because, as I say, Deck's sitting in front of the two centre-halves so deep, we can't get our number 10 up the pitch to put pressure on the ball. So, therefore, the whole team needs to shift up. Declan needs to shift up one, and in my opinion, Bellingham needs to go back one to the 8. So now we got a real quality and energy in the two areas. There shouldn't be an argument. It should be Rice and Bellingham and Foden in the 10. He's been our player of the season. He was okay today, by the way. Foden a lot better, a lot more energy, even though he didn't have a left back going on the outside, which you quite rightly point. The two fullbacks were an issue today, and Stuart Pearce pulled that up. It was just all round for me a very, very poor performance. And I think, you know, until they resolve the mental block of taking the lead and staying on top of a team, we're going to have problems.
OK, Alan and Alex, for now, thank you very much. Don't forget, Jamie and Jason will be with you from 10 for Sports Bar. They can take your calls on the England game, and I'm sure a lot of you will have plenty to say on it. But that was a look back at today's action, all thanks to Burger King.
Big Match Roundup on Talk Sport with Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now.
All right now, let's bring you the latest odds ahead of today's action with William Hill.
In the Zone on Talk Sport with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
A very good evening, Sam Norris. How are you?
Yeah, looking forward to this one. This is a game that I think many will have circled on the old wall charts. It's got game of the group stages potential on paper, hasn't it?
Well, it certainly has in what was deemed the group of death for many. Two heavyweights when it comes to European football and the Euros in particular. So who are you favouring to win this one?
Yeah, Spain, after that really impressive match day one performance against Croatia, are favourites here at 5-4. The draw price is up at 21-10, and Italy are 27-10. But if you want to get Spain on side, never mind the 5-4. We are 5-1, so quadruple that price, that Spain win and both teams score in the game. That's a flash odds offer out from 7-2 to 5-1 for a max of £20 up until kickoff. That could be really good. Spain to win and both teams to score. No question, Italy, again, on paper, will be the side who will be giving Spain most to think about in this group. But both sides acquitted themselves really well on match day one, getting a win. In terms of goal scorers, Alvaro Morata is 6-4 to score any time. Only Cristiano Ronaldo and Michel Platini have scored more goals in European Championship history than he. He's bagged in all of the last 3 Euros, so he could be a popular goal scorer choice tonight. We always see a little bit on Rodri as a kind of outside goal scorer bet. He's 5-1 to bag any time. And what about Lamine Yamal? Incredible performance from him in match day one. 3 shots, 1 on target. He got the assist. He's 16-5 to score any time. He's 15-8 to score or assist tonight. That might be interesting for the Spanish youngster. And then on a Italian point of view, Gianluca Scamacca 7-2 to bag any time off the back of his most prolific season in club football, scoring 19 times for Atalanta. So should be a great game, Spain versus Italy. And I'll leave you with a final update on England's odds. They're unchanged at 4-1 to win Euro 2024. But after a goal tonight, Harry Kane is 13-2 into 11-2 to be the top goal scorer at the tournament. He's the new favourite in that market.
Sam, thank you very much. That was Sam Norris and a latest look at the odds with William Hill. Terms and conditions apply. It's 18 and over. BeGambleAware.org.
In the Zone on TalkSport with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18 plus gambleware.org.
OK, after that poor performance from England, we now turn our attentions to what's happening in Gelsenkirchen. It's Spain taking on Italy, and you're listening to Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now.
Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Here we are then, Jeff. Just minutes to go until the whistle. Will they make it?
Tense is an understatement, Jeff. There's so much riding on it. The question is, will they be able to find that extra gear when they need it most?
And here we go. Oh, yes, they've made it. That's why you drive a properly maintained vehicle.
Love to see that.
It's starting, come on.
Make sure your journey to the match is a smooth one. Book a free vehicle safety check today at quickfit.com or your local centre. QuickFit. Drive away happy every time.
When Andre sold his car on finance with Motorway, he got more money. Ooh!
What are you doing there?
He then put that extra money into tickets to follow his team around the country.
Come on, lads!
Selling on Motorway was completely stress-free, which is more than I can say about being a supporter of... Sell your car the more money way, where 84% of sellers sold for more. Motorway. Validated against 2 independent sources. Visit motorway.co.uk/claims.
I need to get snacks. I need to get drinks. Should have done this beforehand. I need to get treats. Gotta find a BP. Gotta find a BP. Oh, my mates say won't like me. Gotta find a... Oh, there it is.
BP is here for all your big game essentials. Plus, BP Me Rewards members can earn points to put towards great saves.
Had him in the car 1, hungry mates, nil.
BP, here for all of life's journeys. BP Me Rewards card or app required. For full T's and C's, visit ppmerewards.co.uk.
Let's go live to hear about that winning goal.
The crowd's gone absolutely wild here. How on earth do you sum up your emotions right now?
Amazing. A hat-trick is just the best feeling ever.
Is it though? Is kicking a ball into the back of the net really better than food fulfillment from Burger King? That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction, like finishing the last bite of a Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus.
No.
Correct. Burger King. That's food fulfillment.
Strength comes from confidence, both on and off the pitch. And confidence starts with self-care. Upgrade your game with Dove Men Plus Care Advanced 72-hour sweat protection antiperspirant deodorant and Dove Men Plus Care 24-hour nourishing body wash. Perfect for your post-match shower. Now available in new eucalyptus and mint long-lasting fresh fragrance. Let confidence last with Dove Men Plus Care. Proud partners of UEFA Euro 2024 Germany.
Di Lorenzo, Bastoni, Calafiori and Di Marco, the back four. Jorginho and Barella, the holding players in midfield. Fratese, Pellegrini, Chiesa and Scamacca completing the lineup. It's La Roja against the Azzurri, or Spain versus Italy, if you prefer. It's the first real heavyweight contest as Spain and Italy meet on the back of 2 first-game wins. After a defeat to Scotland in the early stages of qualifying, the Spanish run a 7-game competitive winning run. They make just the one change tonight. Nacho drops down to the bench with Aymeric Laporte coming in his place. So it's Simon in goal, Cucurella, Laporte, Lenormand and Carvajal the back four. Pedri, Rodri, Ruiz, Williams and Yamal supporting Morata as the lone striker. Italy unbeaten in their last 10 Euro finals games. They name an unchanged side tonight, so it's Donnarumma in goal, Di Lorenzo, Bastoni, Calafiori and Di Marco the back four, Jorginho and Barella the holding players in midfield, Fratese, Pellegrini, Chiesa and Scamacca completing the lineup. It's La Roja against the Azzurri, or Spain versus Italy if you prefer. It's the first real heavyweight contest as Spain and Italy meet on the back of 2 first-game wins. After a defeat to Scotland in the early stages of qualifying, the Spanish run a 7-game competitive winning run. They make just the one change tonight. Nacho drops down to the bench with Aymeric Laporte coming in his place. So it's Simon in goal, Cucurella, Laporte, Lenormand and Carvajal the back four. Pedri, Rodri, Ruiz, Williams and Yamal supporting Morata as the lone striker. Italy unbeaten in their last 10 Euro finals games. They name an unchanged side tonight, so it's Donnarumma in goal, Di Lorenzo, Bastoni, Calafiori and Di Marco the back four, Jorginho and Barella the holding players in midfield, Fratese, Pellegrini, Chiesa and Scamacca completing the lineup. It's La Roja against the Azzurri, or Spain versus Italy if you prefer. It's the first real heavyweight contest as Spain and Italy meet on the back of two first-game wins. After a defeat to Scotland in the early stages of qualifying, the Spanish run a 7-game competitive winning run. They make just the one change tonight. Nacho drops down to the bench with Aymeric Laporte coming in his place. So it's Simon in goal, Cucurella, Laporte, Lenormand and Carvajal the back four. Pedri, Rodri, Ruiz, Williams and Yamal supporting Morata as the lone striker. Italy unbeaten in their last 10 Euro finals games. They name an unchanged side tonight, so it's Donnarumma in goal, Di Lorenzo, Bastoni, Calafiori and Di Marco the back four, Jorginho and Barella the holding players in midfield, Fratese, Pellegrini, Chiesa and Scamacca completing the lineup. It's La Roja against the Azzurri, or Spain versus Italy if you prefer. It's the first real heavyweight contest as Spain and Italy meet on the back of two first-game wins. After a defeat to Scotland in the early stages of qualifying, the Spanish run a 7-game competitive winning run. They make just the one change tonight. Nacho drops down to the bench with Aymeric Laporte coming in his place. So it's Simon in goal, Cucurella, Laporte, Lenormand and Carvajal the back four. Pedri, Rodri, Ruiz, Williams and Yamal supporting Morata as the lone striker. Italy unbeaten in their last 10 Euro finals games. They name an unchanged side tonight, so it's Donnarumma in goal, Di Lorenzo, Bastoni, Calafiori and Di Marco the back four, Jorginho and Barella the holding players in midfield, Fratese, Pellegrini, Chiesa and Scamacca completing the lineup. It's La Roja against the Azzurri, or Spain versus Italy if you prefer. It's the first real heavyweight contest as Spain and Italy meet on the back of two first-game wins. After a defeat to Scotland in the early stages of qualifying, the Spanish run a 7-game competitive winning run. They make just the one change tonight. Nacho drops down to the bench with Aymeric Laporte coming in his place. So it's Simon in goal, Cucurella, Laporte, Lenormand and Carvajal the back four. Pedri, Rodri, Ruiz, Williams and Yamal supporting Morata as the lone striker. Italy unbeaten in their last 10 Euro finals games. They name an unchanged side tonight, so it's Donnarumma in goal, Di Lorenzo, Bastoni, Calafiori and Di Marco the back four, Jorginho and Barella the holding players in midfield, Fratese, Pellegrini, Chiesa and Scamacca completing the lineup. It's La Roja against the Azzurri, or Spain versus Italy if you prefer. It's the first real heavyweight contest as Spain and Italy meet on the back of two first-game wins. After a defeat to Scotland in the early stages of qualifying, the Spanish run a 7-game competitive winning run. They make just the one change tonight. Nacho drops down to the bench with Aymeric Laporte coming in his place. So it's Simon in goal, Cucurella, Laporte, Lenormand and Carvajal the back four. Pedri, Rodri, Ruiz, Williams and Yamal supporting Morata as the lone striker. Italy unbeaten in their last 10 Euro finals games. They name an unchanged side tonight, so it's Donnarumma in goal, Di Lorenzo, Bastoni, Calafiori and Di Marco the back four, Jorginho and Barella the holding players in midfield, Fratese, Pellegrini, Chiesa and Scamacca completing the lineup. It's La Roja against the Azzurri, or Spain versus Italy if you prefer. It's the first real heavyweight contest as Spain and Italy meet on the back of two first-game wins. After a defeat to Scotland in the early stages of qualifying, the Spanish run a 7-game competitive winning run. They make just the one change tonight. Nacho drops down to the bench with Aymeric Laporte coming in his place. So it's Simon in goal, Cucurella, Laporte, Lenormand and Carvajal the back four. Pedri, Rodri, Ruiz, Williams and Yamal supporting Morata as the lone striker. Italy unbeaten in their last 10 Euro finals games. They name an unchanged side tonight, so it's Donnarumma in goal, Di Lorenzo, Bastoni, Calafiori and Di Marco the back four, Jorginho and Barella the holding players in midfield, Fratese, Pellegrini, Chiesa and Scamacca completing the lineup. It's La Roja against the Azzurri, or Spain versus Italy if you prefer. It's the first real heavyweight contest as Spain and Italy meet on the back of two first-game wins. After a defeat to Scotland in the early stages of qualifying, the Spanish run a 7-game competitive winning run. They make just the one change tonight. Nacho drops down to the bench with Aymeric Laporte coming in his place. So it's Simon in goal, Cucurella, Laporte, Lenormand and Carvajal the back four. Pedri, Rodri, Ruiz, Williams and Yamal supporting Morata as the lone striker. Italy unbeaten in their last 10 Euro finals games. They name an unchanged side tonight, so it's Donnarumma in goal, Di Lorenzo, Bastoni, Calafiori and Di Marco the back four, Jorginho and Barella the holding players in midfield, Fratese, Pellegrini, Chiesa and Scamacca completing the lineup. It's La Roja against the Azzurri, or Spain versus Italy if you prefer. It's the first real heavyweight contest as Spain and Italy meet on the back of 2 first-game wins. After a defeat to Scotland in the early stages of qualifying, the Spanish run a 7-game competitive winning run. They make just the one change tonight. Nacho drops down to the bench with Aymeric Laporte coming in his place. So it's Simon in goal, Cucurella, Laporte, Lenormand and Carvajal the back 4. Pedri, Rodri, Ruiz, Williams and Yamal supporting Morata as the lone striker. Italy are unbeaten in their last 10 Euro finals games. They name an unchanged side tonight, so it's Donnarumma in goal, Di Lorenzo, Bastoni, Calafiori and Di Marco the back 4, Jorginho and Barella the holding players in midfield, Fratese, Pellegrini, Chiesa and Scamacca completing the lineup. It's La Roja against the Azzurri, or Spain versus Italy if you prefer. It's the first real heavyweight contest as Spain and Italy meet on the back of 2 first-game wins. After a defeat to Scotland in the early stages of qualifying, the Spanish run a 7-game competitive winning run. They make just the one change tonight. Nacho drops down to the bench with Aymeric Laporte coming in his place. So it's... We'll leave that there because we are just about to get underway in our game from Gelsenkirchen this evening, the home of Schalke, of course. Spain against Italy, as we said in the preview there, the first real heavyweight encounter of this Euros tournament, and it's the Italians who get us underway in their change kit of all white this evening. Spain, of course, therefore in the red with the yellow trim and the blue shorts. As you'd expect, one half of the stadium is largely red, the other half is largely blue. Big contingents from both these countries. Steve Pearson and Tom Wilson begin this independent off-tube studio commentary. And Tom, it's time for the big guns to make a little bit of an appearance together, and we're not quite sure which way this one's going to go.
No, absolutely not, Steve. Of course, this could be a final, couldn't it? These two teams. It was a semi-final, of course, the last Euros in 2021. Italy, of course, winning that on their way to beating England in the final. Both sides started the competition really well. A really strong win from Spain against a sort of a lacklustre, ageing Croatia side, and Italy, of course, had that scare, conceding the fastest goal in European Championship. But as we said before kick-off, Steve, they dominated the game between that and sort of the final closing moments of the game. So whoever wins this maybe could become the new favourites. We'll wait and see.
Absolutely, plenty of options. Good news for Italy, they've survived longer than they did against Albania already, but here comes Williams down the left-hand side, driving forward towards the line, pulls it back across, header comes in, good save from Donnarumma. He's got to be really sharp there as the ball whipped across. Pedri finding space inside the box with the header, wasn't properly picked up on the edge of the 6-yard box. Decent stop by the keeper.
Yeah, well, he's not the tallest player in the world, is he, Pedri? If anything, I'd guess he's probably the smallest player on the pitch, but he uses his movement really well, gets right in behind Jorginho, again another player not blessed with height, and it's a well-directed header and a good save and a quick reaction from Donnarumma.
Taking the corner kick short on this occasion. There's still a group of players in the centre if they want to whip the ball in. The Spanish, and it comes in eventually towards the near post, but it's easily headed away, and Italy should be able to clear. Not much chance of a break on though, plenty of Spanish defenders still back, and the ball ricochets around and comes back to Donnarumma. The captain's armband on this evening, 63rd appearance for his side. Plenty of experience around this Italian side, as well as a little blend of youth as Di Marco finds some space, but it's quickly closed down. Pedri across there to make sure he hadn't got too much room. And the Spanish again have forced the mistake. In fact, they forced a free kick. Danny Carvajal, the old stager, just putting himself between man and ball, taking the contact and heading for the turf when it comes. Referee Slavko Vincic giving the decision. He's a man who refereed the Champions League final, you may remember. He's already done the Switzerland-Hungary game in this tournament, so he's got himself settled in, the referee. As Cucurella comes forward now, plays the ball on the left-hand side for Williams into the penalty area, gets away from one challenge and a second, but there's just too many white shirts around towards the halfway line. But again there, Tom, a good opportunity, and it's all down the Spanish left at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely, great work there from Williams. He arrived on the sort of international scene a short while ago. But excellent work, beat a couple of players, just overran it in the end, couldn't quite find the pass, but it's been a really lively start from Spain. Just 3.5 minutes in, already causing Italy plenty of problems. Italy had a really defensive side, usually so organised, getting picked apart a little bit early on.
Yeah, there's a little bit of space around, but as I said, it's mainly out on the left-hand side at the moment. They've gone to Yamal a couple of times, and Danny Carvajal down this right-hand side. Yamal has it again, and of course he's a willing runner. He drives down the right, whips across in towards the near post, doesn't really get the right pace on it though, and Bastoni able to clear it away, and the Italians get possession, but again it's all deep inside their own half, although they will win a free kick here. Laporte is pulled up for the challenge on Scamacca, just on the halfway line. Will be a free kick. Yeah, a little bit of tugging on the shirts, making the most of the contact that he had. We see a replay again of Williams, that lovely little run inside, flicked it past one defender, and as others came across, Jorginho had to come back and help his defence, but good job he did really in the end. The door was closed, and Italy finally have some possession inside the Spanish half. Ball worked out on the left hand side. Marco will have it, but he's quickly closed down. Italians will settle down inside the Spanish half with possession. Spain with everybody behind the ball. Morata with the captain's armband on these days for the Spanish side, giving a little bit of experience along with Carvajal towards those younger players in the side as he now closes down Donnarumma. Ball worked out onto the right, pushed down the line by Di Lorenzo. No obvious outlet for the Italians yet. They try a long ball over the top. Cucurella though was ready for it, drops it into Rodri in a central position. A couple of little step overs by Ruiz. Now the Italians turn to be all behind the ball. A wall of white shirts faces the Spanish side. 5 minutes gone. Spain 0, Italy 0. It's the Spanish who have dominated the early stages. That's a poor ball forward though on this occasion. It's chested down easily. Back to Donnarumma after that smart save early on from him. It's been a little more comfortable for the Italian captain first few minutes, but constant press here, Tom, from the Spanish high up in the Italian half. They're winning the ball back all the time as it comes up towards halfway.
Yeah, it's great energy, isn't it? Particularly from those forward players. Morata had his critics in the past for, maybe not reaching the heights in terms of the goals that he scores, or rather the goals that he doesn't, but I think he's had a brilliant few seasons. Alvaro Morata, and of course he's the captain of Spain. He's working really hard up there, as is Pedri. As you can expect, Pedri, even from a young age, about 18, 19, played nearly every single game in Barcelona's campaigns. He's sort of been overshone a little bit of recent time, both for club and country, of course, by Lamine Yamal. But yeah, really good energy so far from Spain. Italy, I think, just waiting for a moment just to settle down in this game.
Yeah, I think Pellegrini's gone down after a challenge by Pedri. There's nothing particularly nasty in it. Just stretched out for a ball, got to it, but then caught the Italian midfielder's ankle. I suspect Pellegrini is slightly in pain, but also, as you was indicating there, Tom, perhaps slightly just settling things down for his side here. It may well be a little bit of a diplomatic injury as well for the Italian side.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Italians are certainly fond of this, aren't they? And the Spanish have got off to a bright start, so you can't really blame Italy just to try to slow things down a little bit, just to take a moment. They conceded very early on, of course, against Albania. They won't want to concede early again against Spain, but Spain, one of the better teams in this competition at scoring early goals. 10 first half goals across the last 4 games for them. So they are quick starters, got all 3 in the first half, of course, against Croatia. A midfielder, a striker and a defender all on the score sheet. Pick of the bunch, of course, by Fabian Ruiz. So yeah, the Italians probably just want to get through the first 10, 15, 20 minutes and then settle down, but we're still waiting for them to settle down.
Here we are, we're still waiting to get back underway as well, as the free kick will finally be taken. Pellegrini will go off under his own steam onto the sideline. 1 or 2 substitutes warming up, but I don't think it'll be long before we see him back on the pitch. Clement Turpin is the 4th official, the French referee, on the sideline, just marshalling things until Pellegrini can come back on the field. But free kick has been taken. Italy with a rare spot of possession inside the Spanish half. Frattesi does well, actually, and then he's caught on the back of the ankle by Cucurella. And that again will be a free kick to Italy, this time just inside the Spanish half. Cucurella, just caught him on the back of the ankles. It's saw one but nothing more. Frattesi could probably have played on, but he was heading back towards the halfway line, so he takes the contact, takes the free kick. It will be taken by Di Lorenzo. To the left-hand side. I thought it was going to be for a second, because Calafiori decided to turn back inside and play the ball all the way across, and the Spanish press has come on again onto this Italian side, and again the Spanish side have won back possession. There's a foul off the ball on this occasion as Scamacca, I think, tried to get forward. In fact, it's Fratesi actually who's gone down on that right hand side, and yeah, a little bit of a tug back off the ball by Laporte.
Yeah, slightly weak for me, Steve. They've not really had the rub of the green in the first 9 minutes. Fratesi does everything he can to win that foul from Laporte, just to get his side a bit respite and get them up the field a little bit. But yeah, in the opening 10 minutes the press has been relentless, hasn't it? Here go Italy.
Yeah, good header through though on this occasion. Scamacca into the penalty area, tries the back heel into the path of Fratesi, who's kind of heading off towards the right hand edge of the penalty area. Wasn't anywhere to go, and Rodri this time is the one who will take some contact and hit the deck on this occasion as Chiesa came across to try and get to him. It was a lovely header through actually into the path. That was Scamacca on that right hand side, but the back heel was a little bit too extravagant there, Tom.
Yeah, good movement from Chiesa and good header forward as well, Scamacca. He's capable of better than that, and he does like to try the odd flick or two. Scamacca, the Atalanta man, but yeah, didn't quite come off there.
Yeah, lovely header down by Morata, and Pedri racing away through the centre. He's not quite sure where to go. He goes back out to Morata, and Morata rather cornered the penalty. Great ball in by him, and Williams should have scored really on the edge of the 6-yard box. He glances the header wide.
Yeah, it's a great ball from Morata. At first I thought he was going to shoot, Steve, as he cut back onto that right foot, right on the corner of the box. It's a brilliant whip delivery in towards Williams. He just doesn't catch it right. He needs to catch it perfectly, and he doesn't. And it just goes wide of the post. It's around 6 or 7 yards out as well. Huge chance. That header from Pedri is probably the best chance of the game, but this one from Williams is definitely the second best.
He's got to score, but he doesn't, and it remains at 0-0 with 10 minutes gone. But it's the Spanish who've had the only chances of the game so far. Donnarumma with one save and one header flash past his post. Simon at the other end has largely been in his armchair taking it easy so far in this game. Not a shot to save as Cucurella again wins back possession for Spain as he races forward, his one hair blowing in the breeze behind him. Makes his way up towards the halfway line. Then it's to Williams. He's one-on-one with Di Lorenzo again. Gets away from him. There's more cover coming to help the full-back, so Williams has to go back. He's taken a little bit of a knock as well, but he's got possession of the ball back here, still under pressure from Di Lorenzo. The referee happy for play to continue because Spain are in possession, although it's back towards the halfway line as Laporte rolls it forward and play the ball square to Lenormand down this right hand side onto Carvajal, almost down towards where De La Fuente and Spalletti are patrolling the sidelines at the moment. Spalletti in these rather snazzy Italian suit jackets with Italia written in big bold letters across the back, like the old training tops that the Italian side used to have. Free kick here, Laporte brought down by Scamacca. We see a replay again of Williams' header. Lovely run from him. He was onside anyway because Di Marco had dropped too far back. You see the replay again. It's about a foot wide of the far post as he tried to just cushion the header into the far corner. Nearest we've come to a goal, with the header saved by Donnarumma. At the moment, the Italians looking for a way into this game, any kind of way into it. We said they are an excellent run of results in Euro finals, obviously. Reached the final and won it last time round. Spain, they won a great competitive run themselves coming into this tournament as well, since that defeat against Scotland in the group stages. They have been unbeaten on either side of that. And here comes Williams again, hugging the touchline left-hand side. Di Lorenzo and Chiesa come across to cover him. Williams tries to step inside, but there's nowhere to go. Waits for Cucurella on the overlap, chipped in long towards the far post. Limal can't quite take it down as it drifts over his head. Tries to control it on the far side of the penalty area, but Italy have won it back. A little ball down the sideline by Pellegrini. He's back on the field and looking better. It's picked up by Di Marco, ball into the area, not the best, easily cleared away, but not well cleared away by Spain on this occasion. It's immediately won back by the Italians. Has to head back towards the halfway line, and then he will get possession back as they recycle it just inside the Spanish half before back towards the defenders and settle down, reset. see where we go from here as far as Italy are concerned, but just get the feeling that the initial wave of Spanish action has just been stopped by Italy. We'll come back to that in a second. Ball over the top, Scamacca almost onto it, Laporte gets a foot to it, flag goes up on the far side anyway.
Yeah, it's much better last few minutes, isn't it, from Italy. No real chances to speak of, but they're getting in behind as they had there. He's offside, Scamacca. It would have been a half chance really, but yeah, they've just settled down a little bit. They finally sort of grew into the game after 13 and a half minutes, and there's a little bit more ebb and flow to it, whereas the first sort of 10 it was Spain dominating really. 2 huge chances for them not taken. They might rue those missed chances as well. Of course, that remains to be seen. But yeah, Italy have just settled down a little bit. I think one player to watch, he's always for Italy, is Di Marco on that left-hand side. Loves to get forward, doesn't he? Got forward just a few minutes ago, but a poor ball. Here comes Spain.
Yeah, up to the box for Morata, tries to turn his shoe, but it's blocked on the edge of the box. Comes straight back out though, and Pedri will win it back. Although the referee is just going to stop play. There was a collision off the ball. Referee didn't say there was a free kick in it. Williams and Di Lorenzo both ran into each other. And Lorenzo's nose, I think, connected with the shoulder of the Spanish player as that happened, and therefore there is a little bit of probably a bit of blood around. The referee, Donnarumma, is out complaining vehemently to the referee. There's a yellow card that has been pulled out. I don't know whether that's for Donnarumma. It seems to be. I can only presume, Tom, that is because of his complaints.
Yeah, it must be. Well, of course, we know in this competition, Steve, only the captains can talk to the referee. When the captain happens to be a goalkeeper, there is a designated outfield player that can do just that. But I think Donnarumma has taken it upon himself to not only go across the referee, but maybe say a few choice words to him, and he's put himself in the book. I think it's good to see as well. It helps the game sort of flow a little bit better if less players are going over to the referee and complaining about things. But Spain had the foot on the ball the last couple of minutes as well, just waiting for that ball through, just waiting for Morata to introduce himself in terms of attacking options. Yamal, not seen too much of him just yet inside 15 minutes, but it's been a good 15 minutes for both sides really.
Yeah, absolutely. And Italy starting to find just 1 or 2 spaces. They come over the halfway again, 4 players forward in the attack if they can find a way to get in there, but the Spanish have got back quickly and forced them to turn back towards the halfway line, where it ends up at the feet of Calafiori. It's a highly rated young defender now, back in the side. He gets the ball back at his feet as others make challenges in midfield on Morata. At the moment, Italy just trying to find a way to have some possession, which they're starting to get now, but also find some space inside the Spanish half. Has to be kind of feeling on the counter at the moment, because as soon as the Spanish have got a couple of players back into defensive positions, the opportunities for the Italians to find those spaces quickly snuffed out. But here's Rodri in that central position in midfield, rolls it out to Carvajal, a very rare international goal in the first game. It's first for his country. Competitive games. Around since the dawn of time, Danny Carvajal. He has plenty under the belt, as they say.
Yeah, a few crucial goals for him, really. Of course, scored in the Champions League final as well, didn't he, against Borussia Dortmund? So popping up with the goals even this late on in his career. He's only 32 then, so yes, he's got a while.
He's still got a year or 2 left, I would hope. Anyway, in that sense, he's the kind of player you want on your side, and really don't like it when he's on somebody else's that you're playing against. Knows all the tricks, all the dark arts, but he's a very, very good defender as well. As the ball is picked up on halfway, Lenormand looks forward, can't find a ball downfield, so just play it square. Spain's turn to try and just shift the Italian side around, find a little bit of probing space somewhere. Carvajal finds Yamal, who spins away from a couple of challenges. We're very impressed by the young man in terms of his first performance in the tournament, but so far tonight he's not really had a chance to get possession of the ball. Too many defenders around, and Di Marco and others sitting in the early stages of this game, not giving him room as the referee pulls it back for a free kick. Of shirt pulling. Here's Rodri for Spain, drives forward to begin with and then pushes the ball out wide to Williams again. Williams can't find any room down the left. Correa didn't really push up enough for the overlap, so he'll just push it back inside. Spain flicking across from left to right, and then Carvajal, well, it's a terrible ball really from Danny Carvajal. He looks down at the floor and wanders back as he watches Laporte racing back deep into his own half before he finally picks up possession for this Spanish side. As we said, they've not lost too many games recently. One of their last 11 competitive games under Luis Del Fuente, just one draw in that time as well. Longest winning streak in competitive games since 2017. The quality of this side coming into the tournament. So far, early stages of this game, they showed it. And now it seems we're dripping into what we feared might happen, is that the two midfields are starting to get on top of each other and the space just isn't there, Tom.
Yeah, well, it's no surprise that that's happened, and Rodri's seen a lot more of the ball in the last sort of 10 minutes. He's just dropped into sort of just in front of the defenders to receive the ball. He's just going from left to right. When he does get it into that final third, you can see the number of bodies back in white shirts for Italy, so well organised. And all they're doing really is making Spain go left to right. Here goes Williams trying to go forward though.
Yeah, he's into the penalty area again, just overcooks it, and again Jorginho is just able to get in there, but Cucurella pulls the ball across. It's cleared away again by Jorginho, and the ball is going to be out of play. Is it on that far side? No, it's just kept in and eventually has to be put out by Cucurella. Did go out of play and then come back in just inside the Spanish half. We see it again, same play from Williams, little run down the side, then flicks it through the legs and off he goes. But Jorginho is doing an excellent job covering at the minute, Tom.
Yeah, absolutely, as he always does. Jorginho, he's such a good central midfielder. But yeah, it's been a really lively start for Williams. Of course, younger brother of Inaki Williams, also at Athletic Bilbao. He chose to play for Ghana, given that both players could have played for either really. Their parents, actually, his mother was pregnant with Inaki as they left Ghana and crossed the Sahara Desert barefoot in search for a better life. So it's a huge accomplishment for Nico to be playing in this competition, really. And still just 21, he's got so much ahead of him.
Oh, suddenly space for Italy. Di Marco down the left-hand side into the penalty area, pulls it back across on the edge of the box, but there's only a red shirt there of Ruiz, and he will head off out onto that left-hand side. He's closed down quickly by Chiesa, but eventually gets the ball into Rodri. It's good defending, but it wasn't a good ball across by Di Marco, and that's a really disappointing end to what was a good chance for Italy.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of space on this left-hand side, isn't there? Plenty of Spain bodies getting back pretty quickly though, and again, I think it's a case early on in this opening 20 minutes that defensively, besides maybe that first 5 minutes where we had a couple of chances, defensively since then both teams have been really solid. They're just shutting the door at every opportunity. Neither team as well, I think, taking sort of risks going forward, Steve. The only player really is Williams. No one really in an Italian shirt is risking anything just yet, and I think that's no surprise really. They'll want to, as I say, make sure they don't concede in the first half, as Spain love to score in the first half. Scamacca trying to hold it up, but he's not really got things ticking just yet.
No, there's nothing from him. Morata has had a couple of little spurts and spells that showed there might be a little something there for him, but he's not really been in the game for the last 10 minutes or so. 21.5 minutes on the clock. Spain 0, Italy 0. Independent off-studio commentary of this EURO2024 action as we covering the whole of the tournament on this service. Spain are in possession, but inside the own half rather. A rare touch for Unai Simon, who will take his time now and eventually just chips the ball up towards the halfway line. A little short. Morata has to come for it, doesn't win it though. The ball is back with the Italians in defence, and all the way back from Bastoni to his goalkeeper Donnarumma. He's animated, to say the least, on the edge of his penalty area. I don't think he's quite impressed by the options available to him upfield from his strikers and midfielders at the moment. He plays a long ball forward that's headed away, but then he's picked up by Italy, but then smacked out of play by Barreira, who was expecting something different down the left. He then gets an earful from Donnarumma, I think, as well, behind him. And it's not a particularly happy ship at the moment for the Italians, but we are a quarter of the way through the game. Tom will take you through to the half-time break.
Cheers, Steve. Yeah, thank you very much. As I mentioned earlier, I think this probably could be a final. Both sides with a really good international pedigree, great pedigree in this competition as well. Both teams searching for a win tonight, and a win for either side would mean that side goes through to, of course, the knockout stages. It'd be a fifth consecutive for both sides this evening. As Rodri gets on the ball yet again, plays it forward to Pedri, under a little bit of pressure from Jorginho. Carvajal gets involved now. spots the centre of the Italian half of the pitch. Rodri shifts it left. Cucurella in some space all the way on that touchline on the far left-hand side. It's negative from him though, goes back away from goal. Spain opting just to keep the ball at the moment. Forward then to Lamine Yamal. He goes around the corner from DiMarco, beats another as well. He's in the edge of the area. He tries to play it off to Morata. He finds Morata, shooting opportunity perhaps. It's a tight angle and it's a smothering save by Gianluigi Donnarumma, but a first attempt on target for Alvaro Morata and a first sign of life really from Lamine Yamal. Italy clear and Spain have possession of the ball again.
Yeah, it was a good run, wasn't it? As you say, showed the pace, the trickery, got on the edge of the box, might have gone down for a free kick, decided to stay on his feet. Whether it was the right choice or not was another matter, but he got Morata through the centre, managed to roll it into him. As you say, well defended, well marshalled away from goal, never really got a clear-cut shot on target until it was too tight, and then Donnarumma was more easily able to cover the shot when it did come in with a simple block for the keeper. But again, it's just that little spark from Spain, and Yamal's just coming a little bit more inside now, isn't he? He's getting a bit of support from Carvajal behind him just to move a little further forward or move away from his right wing station and feel comfortable with it, because the Italians are so deep. Carvajal again almost up there playing as a right winger as he presses with the rest of his midfield and attack.
Got the better of DiMarco there. Here's a long distance strike from Spain. It was on target from Fabian Ruiz, who scored in the opening game against Croatia. Forced to save there from Donnarumma. So much room in the middle there, Steve, and it opens up for him. It's some distance, but it's not a bad strike.
Yeah, they clearly weren't watching the England game earlier, were they? Closed down on the edge of the box, got to be done. They didn't do it quickly enough on that occasion. Italy, great strike. Is there a touch from Donnarumma? Yeah, absolutely there is. Difficult to tell from that first angle, but it's a really good stop again by the Italian keeper. Two good saves from him. Corner taken short.
Yeah, Spain the better of the two after 25 minutes. Forward from Fabian Ruiz into Williams, dispossessed though, and Italy break now down the left-hand side. Chiesa is going to try, he's being pressed by Dani Carvajal and Pedri. Chiesa cuts inside, tries to play it towards that right-hand side, touch inside of Cucurella, does just enough though to hold the ball up. Space on the left-hand side now, as there has been in the majority of the game really. It's Barea, a little bit of space on the ball, under pressure now from Yamal, cuts inside, tries a dinked ball into the area. It's overhit and it doesn't find anyone in white. Goes out for a goal kick to Spain.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to know that, isn't it? Because he puts it into a dangerous area, and there are three white shirts in the box, but they all run into the same space, and therefore it becomes more difficult for anybody to get, into that area where there is, opportunities to get a strike in on goal or a header in on goal as the ball comes in. So it might be a case of 6-1 after the other rather than too critical of Barea, as we see a replay again of the run from Yamal. Lovely running, and actually what I thought might have been a foul on the edge of the box wasn't. It was a good challenge from Calafiori that spun the ball away from the Spanish winger, but again the quality, the pace and the explosive power that he's showing has been impressive in the first game, and also so far now he's got settled into this one.
26.5 minutes gone, still Spain 0, Italy 0. Spain of course, I'll just break off because a long distance strike there from Rodri. It's way off target. He's certainly capable of much better than that. No danger in Donnarumma's goal this time. Spain of course, as I said, looking for a fifth consecutive progression into the knockout stages of this competition. Of course, won two of these competitions in a row. They beat Italy in the 2012 final as well. However, of course, Italy knocked them out of the last two Euros as well. So it's anyone's game really. Cucurella chases a backwards ball and goes back to Simon. He clears first time up towards the halfway line, headed away and then headed back by Rodri into the path of Williams. Can he turn? He does, finds his captain Morata, comes back to the Athletic Bilbao man. He's got one defender to beat and then another joins him in white, cuts inside, thinks better of it, goes to Fabian Ruiz, shifts it back to Williams, three on him now, inside the area looking for Morata, not dealt with by Donnarumma, needs to be cleared by Italy. They're playing around with it on the edge of the area. Ruiz gets a touch in it to keep it alive. Williams is underneath it. This is Fratesi. Jorginho gets involved now. Ruiz wins it back. Here's Pedri on the edge. Tries to beat a couple. Just about works it out towards Lamine Yamal on the right hand side. He's got DiMarco to beat on the byline. Cuts in on his left foot. Ruiz again. Cuts back towards the right hand side. Carvajal, crossing opportunity. Lays it for the edge. Strike from Rodri. Blocked. Cleared away by Italy. Can they come away with possession now? Dispossessed again. It's Ruiz this time. Tries to beat a few. Does alright to start with. Then he's crowded out by a number of white shirts. DiMarco receives the ball on the left hand side. He's got Pedri to beat. He does beat him. He goes down in a heap as well. win a free kick for his side. 28 minutes gone, Spain 0, Italy 0, but Spain, Steve, with a host of half chances in this first half.
Absolutely, should be in front so far. Combination of a couple of poor finishes and a couple of good bits of goalkeeping, keeping them at bay. But that was a lovely move, wasn't it? The vision from Ruiz to probably hear the call and then see the run of Carvajal down that right-hand side. Then the presence of mind, not just to ping a ball into the box and hope for it, but to play carefully onto the edge of the area for Rodri, who found that bit of space coming in on the edge of the box. And a lovely strike from him, well blocked by the defenders in front of him, but would have been a lovely little team goal for the Spanish had that one nestled in the back of the net. As here comes Lamar again, although he's this time at walking pace, pragmatically plays the ball inside. But as you say, I haven't quite looked at the stats yet, I will in a second or two, but the possession stats heavily in favour of Spain, particularly in where that possession has been.
Yeah, Cucurella on the left-hand side goes back to away from goal, back to Cucurella, crowded out, 3 bodies over there in white, but Spain somehow still keep the ball alive. Williams has it coming together on the right-hand side with Bastoni, and the Italian wins a free kick. And the goal scorers in that 2-1 victory against Albania, of course. Barea, the other. It's an 8th consecutive Euros appearance for Italy. Of course, as of recently, qualified for a couple of World Cups, but always strongholds in this competition. Forward then from that free kick, Bastoni, and then a shifted ball from Barea to DiMarco, right into the Italian's feet. He shifted then from left back out towards the right hand side, looking for an overload on the right, but Cucurella wins his header brilliantly. Here goes Fabian Ruiz now, the PSG man, shifts it for Williams. Forward, Morata's going to have an overlapping run that allows Williams to cut inside on his favoured right boot. Shifted again now for Morata. He's got one to beat. Can he get across? And he tries to shift it to his left. It's great defending though on that right hand side from Di Lorenzo. He's won the ball back and kept it, and then he's won a free kick as well, despite the protests of the Spanish captain. He certainly was brought down there. 30 minutes gone, Spain 0, Italy 0. And yeah, Spain certainly taking control of the game, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely, totally in control, really, you would say, of this first 30 minutes. You see again there, Morata battling for it because the high press is there. You see it again here. There's 5-6 Spanish players all within 30-40 yards of the Italian goal. There's a collision off the ball. The Italians have got possession, but Ayer has stayed down for the moment, holding his back. Referee will come across. There was a legitimate collision there between the two defenders. I think it was Laporte who had come across to cover him. Particularly see it as much of a foul. We may see a replay now, and the ball came across, but did he get there? No, he didn't. And it's actually Normand who comes across, isn't it? Clears it away, but then just collides with Burrell. It's a really heavy landing, unfortunately for him. There's no foul or anything in it particularly. The two just colliding as they both came across the ball. It is the Italian man who has come off the worst, as we see the man in the Batman face paint again with his little blow-up European trophy. Lovely to see that. How does he always manage to get seats round the front row, that bloke? He was constantly on the screen last game. We see some stats around the strike from Fabian Ruiz, which was saved by Donnarumma. He hit it from 28 yards out. There was plenty of power behind it. But we said about the possession stats, 2/3 to 1/3 in favour of Spain. I'm surprised it's not even a little bit higher, but certainly if you translated that into possession inside the opponent's attacking third, it would be virtually Spain 100 and Italy 0.
Yeah, chances as well going in favour of the team in red, playing from left to right this evening. Italy playing from right to left, and they're on the ball now. A rare spell of opportunity really for them in the last 10-15 minutes. Dink ball over the top from Bastoni, looking for a run on the right hand side in Fratesi. He's judged for foul. Cucurella making his run though. It will be a free kick to Spain. Italy seemingly not keeping the ball very long and very often, seeming to try go long on every opportunity. DiMarco's had a couple of switches from left to right. We've seen a couple from Di Lorenzo, one there from Bastoni. Just giving the ball back to Spain, who are in possession now with Cucurella on the left hand side. Forward then to Williams. He leaves it for Ruiz. Back to Cucurella. Chelsea man all the way back into their own box now, and a little bit of pressure is Aymeric Laporte, centre half partner Lenormand. Of course, both players are French, but eligible to play for Spain. Both didn't really feel that there was a pathway into the French national team. And of course, they both partner each other in this European Championship. 33 minutes gone. Spain 0, Italy 0. Throwing on the right-hand side after Simon's clearance was a little bit wayward. And that's going to go all the way back to Donnarumma. He's outside his area under a little bit of a pressure. He's going to have to force the ball long. And that'll be picked off comfortably, though, by Williams. Question marks of a high boot there, and the referee obliges as well. He's awarded a free kick. It will be on Fratesi. A little bit of a high boot, not too much in it for me. See, if he's gone for the ball, he's got the ball.
Yeah, he gets the ball. There's a little bit of contact with Fratesi, who goes down as though somebody has punched him full on in the stomach in a heavyweight contest in Las Vegas, but he'll be back on his feet in a moment or two. But yeah, there's a few too many of those coming in at the moment, because the Italians are getting frustrated and they're just trying to break down that Spanish play, find a little bit of possession somewhere, find a way of stopping this Spanish side from totally dominating the game. But they, as you said, they're having real trouble with it. And as you mentioned, really high line from the Spanish. So the Italians are looking for that option over the top, but it's just not there at the minute. It's either a long chip ball from too far away. They need those through balls, they need those runners to exploit that space in behind the Spanish back four. And it's interesting, a couple of times is that Laporte has now, last 5 minutes or so, Laporte has just dropped a little deeper every now and again to make sure there's a bit of extra insurance for this Spanish side. So at the moment, you know, the plan A of Italy not working at all.
Yeah, credit to Marc Cucurella. I think he's won every single header so far after 35 minutes. They maybe feel that he's the weak link in the back four, especially in terms of height. Him and Carvajal are significantly shorter than the two centre halves. But he's had a good game so far, Cucurella, as he did as well against Croatia. Another man who's having a good opening 35 minutes is Nico Williams. He plays the ball back and Rodri picks it up in the semicircle. Space on the right hand side for Carvajal. Goes inside though instead to Pedri. He's opened up a little bit, tries to thread it through to Morata. Can't quite get it through. 3 in white, but they have to pick the ball back. And here's Williams now on the corner of the box on the left hand side. Cuts in on his right, needs that overlapping run. Eventually gets it from Ruiz. Poor ball from him, he's blocked. Rodri keeps it alive. Chiesa puts the pressure on. Spain comfortable in possession. Chiesa gets nowhere near it. It's all the way back towards the left-hand side now again for Ruiz. Rodri slows things down. A little bit of a wayward ball. Asks a question of Laporte. Actually gets the ball forward to Williams, who wins his header and holds it up. Brilliant play from the 21-year-old. Left-hand side does really well as well to get past a couple Italian players. Wins a free kick. It's been a really bright start. They just can't handle him at the minute, Steve.
No, Di Lorenzo knows what he's going to do. He knows he's going to step back inside, but he cannot stop him because he's so fast, Williams. It's the same one again here. Gets the ball out, flicks it with the outside of his right foot away from the defender, and then makes his way around the defender. On this occasion, Di Lorenzo, okay, I'm not going to get the ball, I'll take you instead. But as you said, Williams totally dominating down that left-hand side in the first half, and as we said, overshadowing Lamal, who was the big hero and the big talking point, certainly in the first half, especially in Spain's first game. So it's interesting to see that, as I say, Williams has taken on the role today, and he's taken it on really well.
Yeah, been a mainstay in the Athletic Bilbao team the last 3 years. Got double figures assists in La Liga last season. He's standing over this free kick as well, as is Yamin Lamal. It's going to be Williams though, towards the edge for Ruiz, slightly behind him, chests it down, hits it with his left, and it's way too high and not too handsome as well.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what on earth he was trying there. I think he just panicked because he got a player in front of him and nowhere to go. Del Fuente kind of rolls his eyes a little bit and shakes his head on the sideline as we see him on our screens. But you kind of get the feeling that Spain totally dominating. It's set up for Italy counter-attack 1-0 just before half-time, isn't it?
It is indeed. Calafiori gets the ball from Donnarumma, the Bologna man. Bologna well represented at this competition as well. 3 players in the Swiss national side played against Scotland yesterday. They're from Bologna, as is Joshua Zirkzee of the Netherlands, also in this competition. Bologna finishing in 5th in Serie A this season, the highest finish, or joint highest finish since 1966-67 season. So it's a huge accomplishment for them, and it's good to see them well represented in this tournament. Poor ball forward there though from Berea is picked off. Here's Pedri, finds Lamal under pressure from 2. He's got Calafiori to beat, and he does, chops inside of him, gets the better as well of the tracking back Pellegrini. Gives the ball to the experienced Dani Carvajal. Here's Rodri now in the semicircle, under a little bit of pressure from Berea, shifts it left for Laporte, has a look forward, dig the ball over the top to Williams, takes it in his stride, flicks it forward to Pedri, back to Williams, inside the area, strong challenge and a brilliant challenge as well. Back there, it was Bastoni who won the ball back, and then a breaking play and a free kick conceded by Marc Cucurella, but again causing problems. It's through the defence. They're finding a lot of room, aren't they? The passes, Morata's not really involved, but those wide midfielders, when they cut inside and when the runners from deep get involved as well, that's where they're having a lot of success.
They are having a lot of success, but they're not finding clear-cut opportunities through that route at the moment, are they? Which is the frustration as far as this side's concerned. You look at it again here, as Williams gets in the box, there's always just that extra defender somewhere around. There's always that extra foot in. It's been Jorginho a couple of times, hasn't it? It was Bastoni that time tracking back to make sure he got there. It's a little bit kind of not desperate from this Italian defence, because they never quite look desperate, but there's always just that last man. If some point the Spanish can find that space where that last man is just not quite as sharp, and as you said, those opportunities will come. At the moment, it's shots from distance and crosses into the box, which we probably wouldn't have said would be the best option for the Spanish side.
Spain 0, Italy 0. 40th minute of the game, just 5 to go then, just over 5 to go before half-time. Spain the stronger of the two sides, but neither team have broken the deadlock just yet. Ball on the right-hand side here for Di Lorenzo, the Napoli man. Opportunity to come forward, plays it into the path of Fratesi. Cleared away though by Spain as they won that back after a wayward ball. Just noticing some of the flags around the stadium. It's the stadium in Gelsenkirchen. England opened their Euros campaign. 50,000-seater. It's relatively new as well. It's a nice looking stadium. Some interesting flags. There's a Scotland flag in the crowd there, so it's good to see that they're travelling 100,000 fans, or at least getting to some games. Here's Williams over for Spain, coming forward down the left-hand side, gets an overlapping run from Rodri. He just waits for the Man City man to catch him up. Fabian Ruiz now dinked right-footed ball, crossfield for Lamine Yamal, under pressure from DiMarco. Eyes him up. Beat him, he doesn't. He goes down the right hand side instead to Carvajal. He tries to flick it back towards the Barcelona man. He comes off DiMarco and out for a throw in, taken quickly by Carvajal. Back for Fabian Ruiz. He's all over the place at the minute in the best possible way. Here's Carvajal. Yamal plays it forward then for Fabian Ruiz. Here's Rodri. Shifts it left for Cucurella. It's just slowed down a touch, this Spain side putting their foot on the ball, controlling things. Good form as well, certainly in qualification. Won 7, lost 1. Their only defeat in qualification was actually against Scotland. But of course they were knocked out of the World Cup 2022, surprisingly in the quarterfinals by Morocco on penalties. Here's Pedri, space for him to stride into, and he obliges, gives it to Morata, edge of the area. Guarded out by a few, goes back to Ruiz, who hits one. He's on target, but it's a comfortable save for Donnarumma.
Yeah, good strike from Ruiz, wasn't he? Again, he finds that little bit of space, doesn't hang around when the ball comes back to him, just realises there's an opportunity, there's plenty of players in front of him to try and curl the ball round, obviously looking for something more towards the far corner, but on that occasion straight into the chest of the keeper Donnarumma. And Ruiz of course played with Spalletti, didn't he, when he was at for Spalletti, I should say, when he was at Napoli. So those two know each other well. You would think that they would have been closing him down quicker around the edge of the box, but so far he's been one of the key ones to find space in those central positions.
Yeah, space for Pedri as well, who's happy to run into it with the ball. He's had a season ravaged by injury, of course, no surprise after playing so many games, as I mentioned, for Barcelona. I believe he's missed 75 games over the last couple of years because of those injuries. Pedri he's found fitness, found form again towards the end of the La Liga campaign to make the Spain squad, and of course he is the sort of next generation, really, as is Yamal, youngest player to play in the European Championships after featuring in that opening win against Croatia. He plays it, he's open on the right hand side, but it's Carvajal who strides forward. Good run from looks to be Laporte there, who's got the better of a couple in white, and then found the strong arm of DiMarco on the right hand side. It will be a Spain free kick. He's gone down in some pain as well.
Yeah, it seems Tom
I
didn't quite see what connected with what there as he fell over. That's why he fell into the knee of the defender purely by accident. It was only DiMarco coming forward to try and make the challenge. Norman was off balance. Therefore got a bit of a whack for his troubles as he hit the floor and hurt his shoulder, and got a smack in the teeth as well from the knee of the defender, but fortunately neither has caused him too much problems. With only a couple of minutes to half time, he could carry on and get a bit of running repairs maybe at the break.
Yeah, still waiting for the deadlock to be broken in this one. 43 minutes gone, Spain 0, Italy 0. Poor ball forward there from Laporte. He goes out of play for a throw into Italy, about level with the edge of their own area. Not seen them in the other area much in this game. No real opportunities to speak of. A few for Spain, particularly Pedri's header, Williams' header that just went wide. A couple of shots on target as well from Fabian Ruiz. Here come Italy though, trying to break through the middle with Fratesi. Overcrowded by a number of Spanish bodies though. Fratesi runs into the back of Lenormand, who's gone down holding his head. And the referee's awarded another free kick. It's all just a little bit scrappy. I think that's credit really to Spain. Whenever Italy get the ball, we mentioned the pressing, they don't give them a minute really, do they, to breathe?
No, but both sides have been like that, haven't they? Say the Italians have been straight into it with the challenges, although again some of it's a little cynical at the moment in terms of trying to take some pace and energy out of this Spanish side who've dominated the first half completely. On the other side of things, you say the Spanish press has been excellent deep inside the Italian half. Yes, okay, they've dropped a little bit as you'd expect over the last 5 or 10 minutes, and there's a little bit more room for Italy, but not a great deal. You look at it again here as you come up towards half-time, 6-man press deep inside the Italian half, and at the moment the Italians can't find the ball over the top.
No, they can't get out at the moment. Got around 30 seconds of the first half remaining to do so, but here comes Spain again. It's Rodri coming forward, tries to go round Jorginho. Strong tackle from the Arsenal man though. Yamal gets involved, dink ball towards Williams, who's unmarked on the left hand side, and eventually two players come across to support. Tries to get a ball into the area where Yamal was lurking, couldn't quite find the Barcelona man, and here come Italy now, 4 striding forward into the Spain half. The ball is central, just about comes off as Barea shifts it from that centre towards that right hand side. Could this be a chance for Italy? Ball on the right hand side in the area, strike from the edge. It's way over by Chiesa. You won't want to watch that one back. A half chance for Italy right on the stroke of half time. 45 minutes gone, still waiting to see if any minutes are added on. Can't imagine they will be, and just as I say that, the fourth official indicates a minimum of 2 minutes added on at the end of the first half, and a chance for Italy on the break there, Steve.
Just for a second I thought I was going to be proved horribly right there as Chiesa went forward into the penalty. I thought this is the one where he bends it into the far corner and Italy go in 1-0 up at the break despite having not laid a glove on this Spanish side, but it was a poor finish in the end, wasn't it? There was plenty of defenders back. There weren't too many options for him, to be fair. He had to take the shot as the only option available to him. But first time we've seen Italy inside the half as Chiesa tries to get away again here, but he's going to be pulled up for a free kick on Cucurella, and I think he knows it as well. There's a wry grin from the Italian as he went straight into the back of Cucurella. Nice little flick through by the Spanish defender, accidentally with the back of his heel as well, which put it right back into the path of Chiesa. So good job, it was a free kick. He comes away smiling, but he tell by the look on his face he knew exactly what was happening there. May have been a yellow card for Chiesa there, because there was certainly no attempt to play the ball at all. In fact, it's Rodri who's got a yellow card. I suspect again that's for his complaints, and that means he misses the next match. So probably even more important that Spain get through in this game and get the victory.
Yeah, absolutely. Chiesa, one of the star men for Italy in that successful campaign 3 years ago. He's not got himself booked by the looks of it, and Rodri has instead. About 30 seconds remaining then of the 2 added on. Ball back to Unai Simon. Takes his time and then lofts one forward towards Morata, although it reaches Williams instead. Italy win the ball back though in the semicircle. Jorginho to Barea to Di Marco, forced all the way back into their own half, right on the edge of their own area. Donnarumma the option, but it's not taken. Calafiori clears instead, and that'll be the last action of the first half. And as I say, we're still waiting for the deadlock to be broken, but plenty of chances for a strong Spain side. But at half time, it's Spain 0, Italy 0.
score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored, but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time, but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored, but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time, but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored, but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time, but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored, but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time, but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored, but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time, but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored, but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time, but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored, but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time, but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored, but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time, but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored, but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time, but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored, but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time, but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored, but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time, but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. To the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. To the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. To the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. To the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. To the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. To the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. To the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. To the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. To the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. To the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. To the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves from a Pedri header and a Ruiz strike from distance, as well as a block from Morata. Williams should have scored but headed a simple one wide from inside the 6-yard box. At the other end, very little from Italy. Chiesa with the break just before half-time but smashed his shot way over the crossbar. Half-time from Gelsenkirchen, Spain 0, Italy 0. The Spanish have dominated but haven't found a way to score against this Italian defence. Well, it's largely been Donnarumma who's been the reason for it. Excellent saves.
Well, we are just about getting ready for our second half, and in fact, I say that, we do actually get the game underway. The referee, Slavko Vinci, I should say, was ready with the whistle. We are underway at Spain 0, Italy 0. There have been a couple of changes, and there is already a free kick for a challenge inside the Italian half, and it will be a free kick, and it'll also be a yellow card as well, it would appear, as Cristante, I think it is, having literally just come on the field at half time, immediately gets a yellow card. A good start from him as he comes straight on. Jorginho was certainly one of those who has left the field. Confirm you the other change as well, but Cristante is on, Cambiasso is on as well. As we said, a yellow card, Cristante's first employment
It's a crunching challenge. Just trying to see who the Spanish player is who's gone down, but we will again tidy that up for you in a moment or two. So while we've got this little break in play, chance to introduce everybody. I'm Steve Pearson, and Tom Wilson's joined me for this commentary second half. And I think we said we kind of expect the Italians to stick with this in terms of the way that they've played, Tom, in this first half. For Spain, more of the same should be fine.
Yeah, and I think the changes there from Italy evidence that, don't they? That they're not going sort of hell to leather. They're just trying to maintain their position in this game. Maybe just get through with a draw, go into the final game, hoping that Spain don't win so that they can top the group. But huge blow potentially here for Rodri, who stayed down. He's still down for Spain, slowly and gingerly, and with help from physios getting back to his feet now. But yeah, we don't expect the Italians to come out fighting. More of the same, I would imagine, would be the cry from Luciano Spalletti. Had a playing career in Italy, but he's been a manager now for 30 years. A host of clubs, most notably Napoli, Inter Milan, Roma, Zenit, St. Petersburg, Udinese. Managed Italy since September 2023, taking over from Roberto Mancini after he won the Serie A with Napoli. So yeah, I'm sure he's well versed and ready to defend in this final 45 minutes, and Spain will be trying, I imagine, as he did in the first half, to break the deadlock.
Yeah, they have the free kick then from 10 yards or so inside the Italian half. It's a really poor free kick, though, easily cleared away up towards the halfway line. Williams will challenge for it. He can't really take possession though, and the ball bounces around in midfield before it's finally settled down with Cucurella. The other change, by the way, to say Cambiasso coming on. It's Frattesi who has left the field, so Jorginho and Frattesi are the two who have gone, at least for the moment. Cristante and Cambiasso have slotted in for this Italian side. Donnarumma in goal, Di Lorenzo, Bastoni, Calafiori and Di Marco. The back four as was Barea, Cambiasso, Cristante, Chiesa, Pellegrini and Scamacca. Man leading the line, and not had a chance so far for this Italian side. It's Spain again who were on the front foot early on as Lamal tries to play it inside. He might get it back here, and it spins back towards the Barcelona man. Ball worked out to Carvajal on the right hand side, tries to whip it across near post, but it's blocked away by Di Marco, who I think has taken a one to the face there, unfortunately for him. Had his hands behind his back, making sure that he didn't, although he seemed to head it away. I think he'll be fine, giving his side a little bit of breathing space perhaps, as Carvajal will be amongst those who will help him back to his feet, and Di Marco makes his way back across. Carvajal is in defence along with Lamont and Laporte and Cucurella. Simon in goal for Spain today. Pedri, Rodri, Ruiz, Yamal and Williams, along with Morata. With the captain's armband on inside the 6-yard box, in towards the near post, the corner. It's headed away, still not properly cleared before it's finally hooked out of the penalty area by Cristante up towards the halfway line. But back with Spain again as Pedri plays a long ball over onto that far side. First touch is heavy from Lamar, almost breaks away, but it spins away too far from him and ends up in the hands of Donnarumma.
Yeah, it's not been the liveliest start to the second half, has it? Of course, well, the break off here because here comes Spain.
Yeah, it's back with Ruiz again. Oh, he spotted the run of Williams, but so did the Italian defence. Almost found a way to unlock the door for this Spanish side. He's got it back again, Ruiz into the box. That's not the best ball, easily headed away. Rodri, though, is back onto it, and he seems to be okay after picking up that knock from the challenge that got Cristante's yellow card. Ruiz again drops in deep, finding a lot of space in the early stages of this second half is Ruiz. But at the moment, nothing inside the penalty areas. Williams tries to step away again, does that same thing again, a little flick with the outside of the foot, back onto his right-hand side, but on this occasion, Di Lorenzo was all over it.
Yeah, that was the battle of the first half, really, wasn't it? Williams versus Di Lorenzo. And I'm sure Di Lorenzo would have had a word or two from his manager at half-time on how to get the better of him, because Williams certainly had his pocket picked in that first half.
Here's Pedri into the penalty area, just flicks off the heels of the defender Calafiori before he can get space to get a shot in. Yamal's got it on the edge of the box, works his way across, but all white shirts, he didn't really get his head up to play it across field, and Scamacca battles away from a couple of defenders and heads off into the Spanish half on his own. Runner through the centre, but Simon is there. The pass was overhit, and Simon had an easy job really to just scoop it up on the edge of his 6-yard box before Chiesa could get there.
Yeah, off his line really quickly, wasn't he? Simon, he read it, he read the danger, and he was just sort of off camera for us, just off screen, and as the ball was rolling through, and I thought they might have a chance here, Italy, and then out of nowhere the Bilbao goalkeeper came and collected it comfortably. And again, so we're 6 minutes into this second half, and the path that the first half took was Spain were dominating possession. It's not taken long for Spain to continue that in the second.
Again, dominating press, and the Italians put their defensive lines 25 yards from goal. Here's Williams, left-hand side, rolls the ball into the path of Cucurella. Great ball back from him. Oh, and it's put wide. Morata, I think it was, in the centre, pulled it back across. In fact, it's Pedri, my apologies, just outside the edge of the 6-yard box. It was Morata who made the run in front of him, and Pedri tried to side foot it, but he's caught it off his heel and it's flashed wide.
Yeah, he probably should score there, Steve. He's only about 8 yards away from goal. He totally mishits it. It's nowhere near the target in the end, but it's brilliant play again from Williams, and the underlapping run this time from Marc Cucurella, and it's a lovely well-timed ball into Cucurella. A great ball from the Chelsea man as well. They're giving the ball away here, Italy.
Oh yeah, inside their own box as they try and play it out from the goal kick. Ruiz can't get across him, but the ball spins for Williams. Can't take it under control, but does have support from Rodri, but he's quickly closed down, and that's better from the Italians in terms of block defending. But they are blocking in the low block scenario at the moment, deep inside their own half, as Spain have dominated the first 7 minutes of this second half, but haven't found a way to score yet. It remains Spain 0, Italy 0, as the Italians almost win back possession, but then give it away again. It's a rather sloppy passage of play from both sides before it ends up deep inside the Italians' half. Cambiasso can't clear, and guess who's back with it? Ruiz, because he has been virtually the whole of this second half dominating possession on his own, never mind the Spanish side, as he finds Pedri inside. Shot comes in from distance straight at Donnarumma, who takes it at the second attempt, pushes it down, and then hooks it back up into his big chest.
Yeah, Pedri's been all over the place. He's picking up some really good pockets of space in front of that defence, in between the defence and the midfield. He loves to receive the ball, particularly on the half term, as he did here. A decent strike, but a comfortable save in the end from Donnarumma. As you say, he had sort of two pats down at it. Here you go, Italy.
Yeah, long ball over the top, but it's too far on this occasion. Skamaka was chasing it down, but it skids away from him and races all the way through to Unai Simon, who's still yet to make a save for this Spanish side. See one shot from Chiesa just before half-time, flash over his crossbar, and that's literally been it on his 42nd appearance for the Spanish national side. Side are in possession again inside the Italian half as Cucurella knocks it down the line for Williams. Again, he tries to step inside, but Di Lorenzo has got the mark on him so far in this second half, but then he gives away possession cheaply, and Spain immediately turn it back round, and it's the same record over and over again at the moment for this Spanish side. Carvajal lips it inside, looking for Yamal, can't quite find him, but Spain still have possession as immediately they win it back again. It's Cucurella, 30 yards out, left-hand side, finds Williams onto the edge of the penalty area, corner of the box. Williams steps back away, drives down towards the byline, puts the ball in. Oh, and it's in! It's gone off the defender and into the back of the net. It's Calafiori. The keeper, Donnarumma, flung himself at it, didn't really get much of a touch on it, and it's rattled off the knees of Calafiori into the back of the net, and Spain have their goal through a hugely unlikely source, but it came from a break from Williams, which is a very likely route. It's Spain 1, Italy 0.
Yeah, well, it'll go down as a Calafiori own goal, no doubt about that, but all the credit has to go to Nico Williams. He's been the best player on the pitch by far in the first 55 minutes that we've played. He just stops the ball, he just waits for Di Lorenzo to get involved and try and get near him, and then it's a burst of pace, it's a burst of acceleration, gets past him, takes a touch on the front post from Morata. It'd be interesting to see if it was offside, although the ball might have gone backwards actually to Morata, so he will be onside. Gets a little bit of a flick from him, it's a vital flick as well. It also takes a touch from Donnarumma. There's nothing really that Calafiori can do. He's already running sort of back towards goal, I think just to sort of cover his goalkeeper. It bounces off his leg and into the back of the net. Spain, they've deserved that. I think they've created a lot of chances in this game. Italy, the chances have been few and far between, and that's probably an over-exaggeration, because they really haven't been involved in this game in an attacking sense. But that goal, I think, has been coming for Spain, and this might just draw Italy out a little bit. Spain 1-0.
Yeah, they've got to try and force the issue a little more now. The Italian side, having hardly got out of their own half in this second period, 10 minutes gone in that second half, and Spain have the lead then by a goal to nil in Gelsenkirchen. The ball works into the penalty again. Pedri's almost through, but Donnarumma throws himself forward at the feet of the Spanish striker and makes a really good stop on that occasion. As you say, we didn't quite see it from our first run, Tom, but there was that clear little flick on from Morata at the near post, and that's what made Donnarumma have to throw himself at it, I suppose. Whereas had he not got that, there were plenty of defenders around on the edge of the 6-yard box to clear.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's plenty of bodies in the area, as there has been the majority of the game for Italy, and I think when you beat someone at pace, as Williams does, and fire it into the box at pace as well, it's always going to be difficult to deal with. It's going to bounce off someone eventually. You're just going to have to hope it bounces in your favour. It didn't for Italy, but it did for Spain.
It certainly did, and again, the Spanish are straight onto the front foot. Italy, having kicked off, haven't really got out of their own half again as Spain come forward. Rodri drops a little deeper. They don't have to force it forward as quickly now, perhaps. Try and keep possession, make sure there's no way back quickly into this game for the Italians, but absolutely no sign of it so far. You see again a little run from Pedri through the centre of the defence, just flicked a couple of players out of the way as he pushed himself through into the box. Just overran it, but only by a yard or two. The ball is actually inside the Spanish half for once, but only because the Spanish side have decided to go back to their defenders and play out from there. In fact, they'll work its way all the way back to Simon. Onto the left-hand side and worked across Laporte, who's hardly needed to get involved in the game so far. Leaves the ball on halfway as Ruiz drives forward again into a central position. He's worked up to Morata, 30 yards out, strike comes in. Donnarumma was there, gets a big hand to it, pushes it up, and it lands itself on the top of the netting. But again, plenty of power from Morata, but straight down the goalie's throat.
Yeah, it stings the glove, doesn't it, of Donnarumma, but comfortable in the end. As you say, it's very central. He just sort of flicks it up into the air and over the bar. But Morata dropping deep, and he's not really done that in this game. Every time he's sort of made a run, it's been either in behind the defence or even just trying to occupy defenders to allow those wingers at either side of him to get involved. But it was a rare occasion there where he dropped in, and I think it was the right thing to do. And got a shot off in the end, and it's going to be a corner.
Yeah, left-hand side for Williams. He left it right-footed towards the far post. Header comes in, it's cleared away. May have been going in. Cambiasso had to make sure and clear it away as the header bounced across the 6-yard box. Donnarumma was beaten. Looks like it was Normand who managed to get his head to it. But Cambiasso was there to clear. We'll wait to see a replay. It's going to be a free kick here, and towards the face of Ruiz from Chiesa. But a great ball in, lovely header, and a good clearance as well, needed by the defender.
Yeah, it comes off the man who already scored an own goal in this game as well, Calafiori, but then it is cleared off the line, as you mentioned, for Italy. But yeah, that goal, if they hadn't conceded already, I'd say that goal's living a charmed life, because they really have conceded a lot of chances, Italy. Spain have created really well, dangerous from set pieces as well, as we've just seen. They do have a couple of quite big players out there, Laporte and Lenormand, brilliant in the air. Morata, of course, as well. He's another tall player. Rodri's capable as well from those positions, as is Fabian Ruiz. So yes, Spain certainly the more dominant of the two, and Italy, you're just crying out for them to get involved in this game in an attacking sense. But an hour into the game, it hasn't happened just yet.
Not got involved in the game at all, have they? You kind of got the feeling there might be one of those, we talked about it being a heavyweight contest before the game. Was it one of those where Italy were going to absorb a load of punches and then find a counter-attack punch to get themselves in front? But it hasn't been the case at all. As we said, they've not laid a glove at all on this Spanish side themselves from an attacking point of view. As we come up towards the hour mark, Spain 1, Italy 0. Then the own goal from Calafiori separated the two sides as Ruiz has it again. Central position, played out to Yamal, looks for space, gets a shot in, and it flashes just wide. Donnarumma was flinging himself across, he knew how close it was. We'll see from the replay, Tom, how close it was.
Yeah, it's a great strike. He's got minimal backlift on that, and it is inches, isn't it? A couple more to the right, and it nestles into that side netting. It's a brilliant attempt from such a confident young player. You mean Lamal, he's not really been involved too much, has he, Steve, in this game? I think it's been Williams that sort of outshone him, but whenever he has got the ball and had a little bit of room, he's looked dangerous. He loves to skip past a player. He's capable from distance as well. As he's going forward again here, Steve.
Yeah, he is down the right-hand side. Just too many defenders around on this occasion as he won the corner kick. He thinks he has. The assistant and referee said that it came off him last. I'm not quite sure, if I'm honest, who it did come off. Take your pick, really. Possibly the Italian knee of the defender as he fell to the floor, but virtually impossible, I would suggest, for the officials to decide on that one. I think it benefited the doubt to the defence.
Yeah, absolutely. He had a difficult chance there, didn't he, Lamali? 2-on-1, really. fact that he beat them both. Probably should have won the corner. I think he probably does come off an Italian player last. But again, look at this. Italy just can't even get out of their own area.
Yeah, they've lost possession again. Fortunately, they win the challenge on the edge of their own penalty area. It's played forward on this occasion as Cambiasso suddenly finds a bit of space, works it over the 4 Italian players forward. We've not said that too many times, as they have possession down their right-hand side and start to spring some players forward. It's chipped in towards the penalty area, but it's blocked out. Williams can't clear, still bouncing around with Chiesa trying to find possession of the ball, but he can't take it down, and Pedri therefore will escape. But as he plays it forward, there is literally nobody to play it to in that sense for Yamal, who picks up possession, turns round and finds 6 white shirts surrounding him, but he manages to keep possession still, the youngster, and plays the ball back across, and Spain have possession with Cucurella.
Yeah, very comfortable for Spain, isn't it? Haven't really been asked many questions. Just looking at some of the Italian players, and you'd be forgiven for forgetting really that some of them are even playing Scamacca. He's rarely touched the ball. Chiesa has been really quiet. He's usually such a strong player for Italy, but I think that it's because the game has been won in the midfield, and it's been won by Spain's midfield. Fabian Ruiz having a great game. Rodri, as he always does, has seen a lot of the ball, and Pedri is coming forward really well. There's some really good balance in this Spain team. It's a good mixture of youth and experience. All players playing at a really high level and look really strong this evening.
And if you want a little marker from the past, perhaps, if Spain keep in front in this game, they will have beaten the last 4 reigning champions in this tournament. They have played in the finals, and they went on to reach the final in every time when they've done that. So whether that's anything to see, we shall see as the rest of the game goes on. They beat the Soviet Union in '64, West Germany back in '84, and Greece in 2008. As we said, every time they'd reached the final. And at the moment, they lead the Italians by a goal to nil. A long way to go yet. At the moment, no real signs of Italy getting back into this game. Spalletti on the sideline, pacing around for the moment. De La Fuente is also in similar scenarios, as there will be a couple of changes, and no great surprise to see the changes starting to come in. Retegui will be the first of them to come on as Chiesa heads off to the sideline. He will come on for his 9th appearance for the national side. Scamacca is the other one. You just mentioned it, Tom, in terms of his lack of input and lack of involvement really in the game, particularly in this second half. Zaccagni is the man who has come on in his place. I don't think we're too surprised by either of those changes, really.
No, absolutely not. They needed something, didn't they? The 2 changes at half-time have been inconsequential. They've had absolutely no effect on this Italian team whatsoever. If anything, no discredit to those players that have come on, but it's almost played in Spain's favour. They're really defensive, and now with just under 30 minutes to go, that they need to attack if they're going to get anything from this game. So hopefully those 2 attacking changes provide some energy, but also some creativity.
Yeah, 4 changes already for the Italian side. Still with 25 minutes left to go. They haven't found a way to be anything different. So the ball is back with Spain again in possession. There's a surprise, as it has been for virtually the whole of the 65 minutes of the game so far. Looking at the stats again, it's still 2/3 possession to Spain and only 1/3 to Italy as it stands. Totally dominant, the Spanish side in this game after a very impressive first match. One of the potential favourites. Spain are right up there at the moment. Morata comes forward, tries to play a ball to his right hand side. A couple of players have found a bit of space, but he kind of miskicks it as he tries to flick it with the outside of his foot, and it's back with Spain straight away. All worked out to Williams on the left hand side. Back for Ruiz. Italy with everybody behind the ball except one. Retegui is the only man who's stayed a little further forward, at least for the moment. But Spain in possession. Ruiz turns away from the challenge, tries to find some space. He couldn't do so. That was the man who had the strike in the first half that stung the finger ends of Donnarumma. But here's a chance perhaps for Italy to suddenly find some space. Cristante is into the penalty area, ball across, it's missed at the near post. It's too far for Pellegrini at the far edge of the penalty area, but he will keep the ball in play on that left hand side. Rolls it towards the edge of the box. Cambiasso trying to find space, but he's forced out, and Italy for once will have a little bit of possession with the Spanish side in a defensive scenario.
for the moment, Spain very quickly into their defensive positions and shape. No easy outlet therefore for the Italians as we reach the 66-minute mark. Spain 1, Italy 0. Calafiori's second half own goal. There's a separator between the two sides. They'll try and play a threaded ball towards the area. On this occasion it's blocked out from Pellegrini before it can cause any damage to that Spanish side. Back into midfield again. The player will try and find space. He can't do so. For once, Italy looking a little bit more comfortable on the ball, Tom. But it's the first time I think we've said that.
Particularly in the second half, Steve. Yeah, absolutely. The press from Spain has just wilted a little bit, hasn't it? You can see that maybe the energy levels have just dropped a slight touch, given that they've not made any changes yet. And of course, as we mentioned, Italy have already made 4. And those 2 changes particularly providing a little bit more energy. And you can see they're a little bit higher up the field as well. They've got the ball at the minute in a semicircle. That's a poor ball forward. And they've gifted possession back to Spain. But just before that, there was 4 players in white occupying in the sort of top half of the field, if you will, on the left-hand side. They couldn't shift the ball over there, but they're certainly committing a few more bodies forward.
Yeah, the press is a little higher now as well, as Unai Simon drops the ball to his feet. We find at least 4 Italian players pressing up high on this Spanish side to try and force them into an error, but it's easily played away up towards Williams, then into Rodri, then on for Pedri up over the top, looking for Williams again, who's found space. Lovely first touch from him with his right foot. He can't quite get space for a cross. He'll battle with the defender Di Lorenzo and eventually loses out. Ball squirms across the penalty area, but Bastoni is quick to react to it and he plays it out of play for a throw-in. I just wonder if Nico Williams is just feeling the pace a little bit of the game, having been up and down that left-hand side. He just looks like he's towing a little now as we come towards the final part of the game.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, Steve. Since the 10th minute, he's had 2 men to beat every single time. You'd wonder whether that creates a little bit more space for other players, but he's seemingly happy to go against 2, and he's had the better of 2 majority of the time he's received the ball, particularly Di Lorenzo. A couple of tackles he's put in have only really been when he's helped out by another teammate. Here's DeMarco on the other side.
Yeah, trying to find a way to get through. There will be a free kick here for a foul on the left-hand side. Referee, I think, is going to get the yellow card out again. We haven't quite seen who to on this occasion. Zaccagni was the man who was brought down. There will be a free kick. Lenormand, I think, is the man who's been given the yellow card, and that's confirmed on our screens now. So he was the second Spanish player to pick up a card in this game.
Yeah, it is a foul, isn't it? He just can't get out of the way quick enough. Lenormand, he's a very speedy player. Zaccagni, he got 10 goals for Lazio in all competitions this season. Winner of the best goal in the Serie A as well in the campaign. He's certainly capable of inflicting a little bit of energy and creativity going forward. They've taken this shot, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting, but not working at the moment for Italy. They've just played it around across their defensive midfield now, and that's allowed Spain to just sit in and go, okay, that's fine, you can have possession on the halfway line. We're not too worried about that. Ball is back to Donnarumma. We are just over the 3/4 mark of the game, so Tom will take you through to full time with Spain leading by a goal to 0.
Yeah, Spain leading, but Italy trying to claw their way back into this game. DeMarco with a cross from deep is blocked initially by Carvajal. He can't quite find the ball. It's lost in the German sky. Eventually drops to DeMarco, headed forward by Barella, and then comfortably in possession now. Back there for France. For Italy, it's Calafiori. Forward then to DeMarco on the edge of the area. One back though by Spain. 4 bodies around the Italian left back. One of those is Lamal, who comes away with the ball. A couple of bites at his ankles from a couple of Italians, but Spain maintain possession. Here's Rodri. Cucurella cuts inside to receive the ball on the halfway line. Down the line then to Williams, the real star man for Spain this evening. Is he going to beat Di Lorenzo again? Cuts inside of him on his right foot. Hits one from distance. Oh, it's off the bar. It is brilliant, and he deserves a goal, Nico Williams, not just for his 70 minutes that he's played, but for that move. That was absolutely brilliant. Got the better of Di Lorenzo. And there's so much power in this strike, and almost perfect, Steve.
Yeah, beautiful strike, wasn't it? Again, does the usual thing on Di Lorenzo. Steps inside him, finds a bit of space, flip with the outside the right foot. This time a little bit away from the defender, so he doesn't have time to close him down. And he bends it round the keeper, Donnarumma. He's got absolutely no chance, the Italian captain, but it rattles off the corner of crossbar and post. And as it does so, there will be a couple of changes here for Spain. Pedri and Yamal have gone off. And looks like Ferran Torres, I think, was one of those who was about to come on. And the other one will be Alex Baena, who will make his way onto the field. But Yamal again, obviously protecting the young man in terms of having the rigours of a tournament, but another lovely cameo performance from him for an hour.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you've got to remember, he's still very, very young, as is Williams, of course, on the other side. It's a very young sort of forward line. But yeah, Lamal, great performance from him. He's caused problems, not really been in the game, has he? But whenever he has had the ball, he has caused those defenders some problems. I think those changes needed to be made. It's something that had to change for Spain. They just wilted a little bit of energy had been zapped, and Italy controlling possession a little bit more, just getting a little bit more success in the centre of midfield. And that's exactly where they've got the ball now. 72 minutes gone. Spain 1, Italy 0. Shifted left then by Barea to DiMarco. Certainly higher in this last 5-10 minutes than he has been in the opening 70 minutes. Into the semicircle. Space on this right hand side for Di Lorenzo. Williams tracking back. Goes inside then to Barea. Gets it back. Di Lorenzo. Let's look for an option. Aren't many. There's plenty of bodies behind the ball for Spain at the minute. One of those is Morata, who seems to be faltering just a little bit. Not really pressing now, this Spain side. Potentially happy with the 1-goal advantage at the moment. Forward though by Italy. Strong challenge there from Lenormand. You have to be careful. He has already been booked in this game. Referee has a wry smile. No yellow card on this occasion, but a free kick in a dangerous area. And that's really one of the first occasions, particularly in the second half, Steve, that Italy have asked the defender to make a challenge.
Yeah, Pellegrini did well, didn't he? Actually, he got in really quickly across the front of Lenormand. As he said, there's nothing nasty about the foul at all. He's going for the ball, just whipped away from him by the Italian player, and he just catches Pellegrini on the top of the foot as he comes down. Referee perfectly happy. It's just a free kick. Lenormand knew it was as well. 4-man wall in front of the goal as far as Simon's concerned. I wonder how ready he'll be, because he's literally not been involved in the game at all so far. Simon, other than with the ball at his feet, but he's going to have to be sharp here. Pellegrini is the man who is left with the ball just about, 25-30 yards out, right of centre.
Yeah, not had a save to make just yet, the Spanish goalkeeper, as opposed to the 6 being made by Donnarumma. Of course, the goal as well for Spain, coming the way of an own goal by Riccardo Calafiori. The Italian free kick. They've got their own wall next to the Spanish wall. Bastoni, Crisante, two of the 3 just to the left and in front of the Spain wall, making themselves a nuisance. It's going to be hit from distance. It's decent, but it's not quite good enough from Pellegrini. It didn't come down quick enough, and Unai Simon still has not yet to make a save.
No, it was quite a long way over the bar, wasn't it? Pellegrini got right underneath it, trying to bend it round towards the far corner, but didn't really get his angles right at all, and made a real mess of that, unfortunately, as far as he's concerned. It was a disappointing end to a positive scenario again, and from Italy's point of view, they've got to be really, really efficient in front of goal, haven't they? Because they're getting so few chances. It's a case of, if you're going to waste opportunities like that, then the chances of getting back into this game are diminishing rapidly.
Absolutely. Ball forward then by Unai Simon from that goal kick. Marc Cucurella heads it into his own path. Williams is a little bit more central now. Cucurella is forced to go back. There's no option in front of him. Rodri picks it up just in the semicircle in the Italian half. 75 minutes gone. Spain 1, Italy 0. Spanish fans in high spirits in Gelsenkirchen. Shifted right by Laporte over the defenders' heads, right on that right hand side for Carvajal. He's forced back brilliantly though. Strong work from Zaccagni. Forced Carvajal all the way back into his own half. But they've still got the ball, the team in red. Here's Cucurella on the left, just in front of the respective dugouts. Forward to Williams, receives it in his path, but it's good defending there from Di Lorenzo. Got the better of the Bilbao man on that occasion. Wins the ball back for his side. A little bit more pressure now from Spain on this back line. Donnarumma receives it from Bastoni. Gives it to the man whose own goal is the difference at the moment. Calafiori forward down the left to DiMarco. And a free kick, and a little bit more life in this Italian side in the last 10 minutes. Still need to find their first shot on target though. Throw in on the halfway line by DiMarco. Back for Calafiori. Shifted centrally for Bastoni. 15 minutes to go. Steve, Spain probably happy with Italy to keep the ball, given that they've been able to defend everything. although there hasn't been much that they've thrown at them.
Yeah, and most of the possession again is deep inside the half. The press isn't quite as high now, is it? It's not quite as energetic from the Spanish side as you'd expect, but the changes brought on by De La Fuente are very pragmatic, aren't they, in that sense, but they still mean that the press is quite high. If you look at it again here, 6 Spanish players pressing within the attacking third of the field as Italy try and come out from their goalkeeper and defender, and it's really, Donnarumma's almost given it away. In fact, he has
given it away. Williams has pinched it from Di Lorenzo. He's on the byline on the left hand side, cuts it back for Fabian Ruiz. Body's coming back now for Italy. Ruiz manages to evade a couple and finds Williams again. Fake to cross with his right boot, cuts back for Cucurella instead. Ruiz involved again. Here's a Chelsea man down the line to Williams, 2 to beat again. Cuts away from Cristante, back for Cucurella. Has a look in field, and it's comfortable from Spain. Got all the way back now to Laporte. He shifts it from left to right for Lenormand. Maybe De La Fuente were thinking about replacing him, given he's on a yellow card. Here's Torres on the right hand side. First time for him. It's a first time ball as well across the face of goal. Just evades Alvaro Morata. There's a coming together between him and one of the Italian defenders. I think it was Di Lorenzo, and the referee's awarded a free kick. But first touch of the ball really for Ferran Torres, nearly created a goal. Yeah, lovely ball in, wasn't it? Man just got a flick of Calafiori that just took it past the first man. Then Morata's going for, I'm not quite sure where the foul is exactly, if I'm honest. I think Morata's got every right to try and go for the ball because the defender Di Lorenzo isn't trying to. He's trying to block it off just so that if should he need to, his keeper could come and get it maybe. But another couple of changes then for the Spanish. Jose is going to come on, and in fact that was Morata's last action of the game. Nico Williams is the other one that goes off. Perez and Oyarzabal are the men who will come onto the field. But excellent performances both from Morata and from Williams. They have been both outstanding tonight. Yeah, absolutely. That is the key word, and he's been the key man. I think he's been the difference for Spain in this game. If they do get all 3 points, I think they'll have him to thank, because he's been the sort of main man for them. The main man in this game. Could be a real breakout competition for him. Watchers of Spanish football, of course, know all about him already. But for those who don't watch Athletic Bilbao very much, it'll be good to see him breaking through. Italy trying to break through the defence of Spain now, does really well there. Calafiori just to get away from a challenge from the Spanish midfielders. Forward then, and a free kick for Italy in another dangerous position. It was Rodri this time. He's taken the armband away from Alvaro Morata for the remaining 12 minutes. An opportunity for Italy to get the ball in the box, which they haven't done very often in this game, Steve. No, it's another free kick. It's got to be better delivery, hasn't it, than the strike on goal that they tried to have. It's been a very disjointed performance by this Italian side. It's got to be said. Pellegrini and Di Marco are the two who are over this free kick, but it's midway inside the Spain half, really wide on the left-hand side, and the Spanish line very high outside their own penalty area as the free kick comes in. Comes in from Di Marco towards the back stick. It just evades Di Lorenzo. He got a touch on it, but he couldn't direct it goalwards, and instead here comes Spain now down the left-hand side. Cucurella tries to thread it through to Ferran Torres, who made that run from right to left. He's got 3 to beat. He can't beat them. The ball's been won back by Italy, and it'll be comfortable possession now for Bastoni. There's a man down here for Italy. The referee has a look. He's seen it. He's not going to stop play unless I think Italy kick the ball out of play. And they don't do, because that man is back to his feet. I think it's Barea. Di Lorenzo gets the ball on the right-hand side, goes inside then to Cristante under pressure from a couple in Spain colours. Torres was there. This was Jose Perez. At the age of 30, by the way, received his first call-up for Spain in the lead-up to this competition. This is only his second appearance. Scored on his debut as well for his country, proving it's never too late. The former Leicester, former Newcastle man, currently playing for Real Betis. Got a goal and an assist, in fact, in his debut in a 5-0 victory against Andorra. On the right-hand side for Italy. The press has just stepped up a little bit more now, hasn't it, from Spain? Yeah, again, as I say, it just sort of eased off a little bit over sort of 10 minutes after the goal, but since then it is back on again, as you say. 6-man all the time, and I think that's why the substitutions have been made, aren't they? Because they are all players who will continue to work in that press scenario through midfield and further forward. Here they come, Spain. 3 coming forward, shift it left for Perez. Left-footed strike from him is blocked. He's going to win a corner. And it's good pressure again from Spain, winning the ball back. The Italian players thought it should be a goal kick, but I think it comes off Lorenzo last, and he's had a long day. Di Lorenzo marking Nico Williams, and now Perez off the bench, proving to be a problem as well. 80.5 minutes gone. Spain 1, Italy 0, so just 10 minutes of normal time remaining. Spain will be through to the knockout stages with a game to spare. He comes across from the corner towards a back stick. It was an unmarked Rodri back there, on rushing run as well from Aymeric Laporte. Couldn't quite direct it goalwards. Those that have played for a goal kick, but even late on, Spain causing problems to this Italy defence.
Yeah, Donnarumma again out towards the edge of his penalty area, berating his mid. Pellegrini will be the man who goes off. So again, it's another attacking change for this Italian side, but with time running out and possession at a premium, he's getting the ball. That's the first problem for this Italian team.
Yeah, they want to get the ball to the Napoli man off the bench. Just 24 years of age. 81.5 minutes gone. Spain 1, Italy 0. Free kick then for Italy inside their own half. Won and taken quickly by Bastoni. Gets a 1-2 from Di Lorenzo. Opens up, has a look. No option really. Forced long over the top. It's a good ball. It's a searching ball, but off his line quickly again is Unai Simon. Not had too much to do, but every time that ball's come over the top or been threaded through, he's been so quick off his line. And even after 82 minutes without making a save, he's still sharp, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely, and got to be as well in that sense. That's he's done what he's needed to do comfortably, but it's been very easy for him tonight. I'm sure he wasn't expecting it to be that easy. He will sleep soundly tonight if this continues to be the case. And with 8 minutes to go, there are still no signs at all. Trying to find some glimmers of life for Italian supporters, but I'm afraid I'm not finding any at all at the moment.
Not just yet, but of course, still some way to go in this game, and Italy on the ball. Again, it's a shifted ball from the semicircle out towards the right-hand side, chested down. Cucurella putting the players under pressure here. Cambiasso loses out. It's won back by Jose Perez, trying to evade Cambiasso. Now tries to evade Raspadori. Both of them in combination eventually win the ball back. Perez with too much to do there. Spain eyeing up another change by the looks of it. We made just yet because the ball is still in play. Looks like it's going to be number 6, Marino. Sociedad forward, plays it towards the halfway line through the eye of the needle. It's a good ball. It's opened up a little bit now for Cambiasso. The Spain manager De La Fuente urging his players back, and the Italian manager Luciano Spalletti urging his players forward in these closing moments. In the semicircle, good pressure by Ferran Torres, but a good touch there from the Italy defender Calafiori. He strode past one and then won a free kick as well, much to the frustration of some Spain players there, and Steve doesn't think so, I don't think.
I'm not totally convinced, I've got to be honest. He's not the best tackler, but I think he gets the ball actually rather than the player, and Calafiori makes the most of it, knowing that he's lost it, but he's back onto his feet, he's okay, all is well. But free kick is not in a dangerous position at this stage, because again, it's just played short by Italy, and that gives Spain the chance to just press forward up towards the halfway line and make it difficult for the Italians to find any kind of route. You look at it again, everywhere you look there are red shirts, except really out wide. For me, that's where the Italians have got to get the ball out quicker to, as it is now, Di Marco.
Yeah, that's exactly where the ball's gone, just as Steve was saying, out towards Di Marco, very attacking fullback. He tried to dig out a cross, it came off Carvajal. It does come off his left arm, which is the point Di Marco's making, but way too close to be a handball, and they've still got the ball anyway. Inside the area for Italy, can they create a chance here? It's scrambling around in there. Couldn't quite take control of it, Andrea Cambiasso, but he has won his side a corner kick. So an opportunity then with just over 5 minutes of normal time remaining. Can Italy snatch a goal? Can they rescue a point in this game, in a game where they've not looked dangerous whatsoever? It's going to be Raspadori, it's going to be an in-swinger from left to right. He's just going to have to wait a second. The referee's going in to have a word with a few players in there. Some rather energetic blow of his whistle, as there's a few players well, it's just nothing more than handbags, I would imagine. There's a point.
Danny Carvajal's in there. Although, you know, there's been some kind of dark arts here, hasn't there? There's been something said or something happened. You just know it.
Yeah, well, when you're around half a foot smaller than the players that you're marking, Steve, you have to have some advantage. He's even smaller than the referee, Dani Carvajal. Just still waiting, and this is taking precious seconds off the clock, though, for this Italian endeavour. At the end of this game, Bastoni now being marked very closely by Lenormand. So, a little bit of a coming together again, and the referee's come across to have a word with Bastoni. Tagu in there having a word as thankfully into the hands of Unai Simon. It bounced off someone at the front post there. Unai Simon was alert to keep it out of the back of the net.
He wanted to get it out quickly as well, but there wasn't an outlet for him. Calafiori ended up on the floor around the penalty spot and was screaming at the referee. We've just seen a replay, but no signs of what happened even on the replay. It was so far away from the ball. So firstly, no chance of the referee or anybody else spotting it either. So again, after all the pushing and shoving, it's a tale of sound and fury signifying nothing again.
87 minutes gone, Spain 1, Italy 0. Back towards the halfway line for Italy, who have dominated possession in the last 15 minutes, but not exactly penetrative. It's yet to register a shot on target. I don't think that corner will count as one, as it wasn't a shot, it was across the... waywardly went into the hands of Unai Simon. They've got the ball now there, though, in the final third, although forced back towards the halfway line again is Cambiasso. It's Calafiori, shift it left, doesn't meet the feet of a teammate. Eventually they come away with it, though, Italy. Energetic play down that left-hand side, inside the area. Zaccagni can't get the better of Rodri, and they win the ball back through Fabian Ruiz, although they've lost possession instantly. Spain, it's bobbling around on the edge of the area. Correa eventually clears with his right boot up towards Ferran Torres. Can't bring it under control. It's won back by Bastoni. Di Lorenzo now in a more central position, allowing a little bit more room on that right-hand side for Cambiasso, who does receive the ball. Goes back, though, towards the halfway line. Still 60% possession for Spain in this game. Play slowed down a little bit there by Zaccagni and Berea. And again, it's a heavy touch there from Italy, and they've gifted the ball back. It was Brian Cristante who couldn't keep hold of the ball, and a precious free kick won by Spain in the closing moments of this game.
Yeah, it is. It's a silly challenge, isn't it? There's absolutely no need to get involved really there and lose possession of the ball, because actually it was the most frantic bit of play that we've seen from Spain over the last couple of minutes. They just looked a little bit offset, looked a little bit uncomfortable out of possession. So it's the first time that we've seen that at all in the 87 minutes of the match. We've just seen a replay, by the way, of Calafiori, the most minor shirt tug that you could ever see from Carvajal, and Calafiori went down as though somebody had dragged him around the neck and pulled him to the floor. So yes, nothing to report there. Move along, please.
Free kick will be taken by Unai Simon. Shifts it right, towards the right-hand side. Headed away though by Calafiori, not once but twice. Still needs to be cleared though by Italy. Underneath it now is Zaccagni, tries to play forward. Strong challenge there in the back of Cristante, and it will be a free kick to, looks like it's going to be to Spain. It's no surprise Dani Carvajal's gone down again. A strong challenge looking for the ball was Retugi, but not too much wrong with it. It was a strong challenge in his back from Lenormand, potential handball, and he just puts the foot on the ball and Carvajal goes down in a heap.
Yeah, I think it's actually the foul against Lenormand in the first place that's been given, and then Carvajal comes in. There is nothing wrong with Carvajal at all. He's just playing for time on that occasion. A little bit of contact and nothing more. He knows it. He's back up onto his feet. He's fine, and the free kick is taken short. But only 30 seconds of the 90 left. Should be not too many injuries, have we, in this second half? But plenty of substitutions. So we'll see what the referee adds on.
Yeah, just 30 seconds remaining, and Spain on their way to going 6 points in this group. Although Italy try and get a goal right at the death down the left-hand side. There's plenty of bodies back though. It's a sea of red in front of Zaccagni. Can't get the better of Lenormand. Eventually flicks it back towards his own teammates behind him. Cross into the area. Not really searching for anyone. It was a searching ball towards, I think it was Raspadori coming in there. But no pressure whatsoever on the Spain backline or the goalkeeper. And the fourth official has indicated a minimum of 4 minutes added on at the end of the second half, so just 4 more to go for Spain to take all 3 points in this group, as Luciano Spalletti looks on.
The Scottish fans are packing up. Scottish fan at the side of it, that's enough. I'll take him a flag home now.
Here comes Spain. Can they double the lead late on? Ball's in the air in the right-hand side. Torres tries to dink one towards a penalty spot. It's cleared away. He was searching for AZOIR, but cleared away by Italy. They'll regain possession, though, Spain, in the final third. On the left-hand side is Perez. He's going to go to the corner to hold it up. No, he beats his defender. He's inside the area now. Can he get a shot on goal? He does. It's on target, but it's saved by Donnarumma. Late chance there for Spain, who kept possession of the ball through Fabian Ruiz. A shake of the head from the former Newcastle man. Thinks he should have done better, but really well there, Steve, to create the chance himself as Cucurella goes down and wins a free kick.
Yeah, I think Di Lorenzo will have thought, okay, it's all right. Williams has gone off now, I'll be fine. No, Perez has come on and run at him in the same way. They've just not had an answer at all down that right-hand side, have they, to what Spain have done from the first minute right up until the 92nd. Again, it's the same thing, isn't it? A little flick with the outside of the right foot. He's passed Di Lorenzo and off into the area. It was a tight angle. There wasn't really too much option inside, to be fair to Perez. He probably only had the chance to get the shot in, but it was easy enough for Donnarumma to save. But Di Lorenzo will get to sleep well tonight, but the nightmares probably will keep him awake later.
Ball over the top for Perez, another chance for him. Shot on target again, saved by Donnarumma. 2 chances in as many minutes for AZOIR Perez. He can't take advantage. Strong save down to his left foot. The Italian goalkeeper, who do come away with the ball, although it's been won back now by Rodri. He picks the ball. The chance there for Spain.
Yeah, another opportunity again, and AZOIR Perez, same thing, wasn't it? Di Lorenzo this time with a mistake, and away goes Perez, and Di Lorenzo's night gets even worse as it reaches the injury time spell of the game. But you know, there is just a little bit of possession here for Italy. Spain just sitting back a little bit deep. But at the moment, they're managing to slam the door every time Italy get down towards the penalty area.
Yeah, they could break again because Perez is beating his man once more. Di Lorenzo having a shocking second half in this game. Ball back to Fabian Ruiz. A rare bad touch from him, who's nearly gifted possession back to Italy. Manages to poke it back to Laporte, and they'll regain possession. But Fabian Ruiz has gone down. He stayed down. It seems to be cramp. At least that's what he's claiming. Arms in the air from Italian players. They're not happy with Fabian Ruiz. The PSG man's just been seen to by Marc Cucurella. As precious seconds tick off the clock. Just 1 minute of the 4 added on remaining. As we see some replays off Tube Independent studio-based commentary of AZOIR Perez's double chance in just a matter of 2 minutes. Spain 1, Italy 0, and a final change. That change I mentioned feels like maybe around 20 minutes ago I mentioned it now, Steve. Moreno is going to come on for Spain. It's going to be Fabian Ruiz, who's just gone down there with potential cramp. And just a word on his performance today, the PSG man. A brilliant sort of controlling of possession in central midfield, and as I mentioned earlier, great balance between him and when Pedri was playing, and Rodri, of course.
Yeah, and Ruiz and Rodri for me first half were absolutely outstanding. What a midfield pair that is, and looks like for the rest of this tournament. Ruiz, who was involved in 2 of the 3 goals against Croatia as well. What a game he has had in both of these first 2 matches. Probably been the star performer for me for Spain across those 2 games. There was a lot of talk about young Yamal, of course, and 1 or 2 others, but for me, I thought Ruiz was outstanding in that game, and he was absolutely superb, certainly for the first 70 minutes of this game when Spain were largely on the front foot.
Ball in the centre circle. We've played the 4 added on, but maybe a few more seconds added on by the referee due to the couple of quote-unquote injuries from Spain players. A final chance then perhaps on the right-hand side. Here's Cambiasso. Di Lorenzo's up to support. Can he get the ball in the area? Shift it for his left boot. He does get a crossing. Cleared away though by Rodri back there. All eyes towards the referee. No whistle being blown just yet as Barea tries to shift it forward. Headed away by Cucurella. Again, can Spain break right at the death? Perez forward. Torres is in some space, but he can't find him. It's won back by Italy. Another roll of the dice here down the left-hand side. DeMarco's giving support to Zaccagni, who cuts inside. Can he get a cross or a shot? He does. Dink one towards the back stick. An unmarked man there. The ball in the area cleared away by Spain just about right at the death. It was Aymeric Laporte with a vital touch to send it over the bar. And it will be a corner kick and a yellow card as well for Dani Carvajal right at the end. But the referee is going to allow the corner to be taken, despite us playing 1 minute over the 4 added on now. Plenty forward for Italy. Cristante up there as our most of the defenders. Referee again coming across just to settle things down for the corner taker to hit.
He certainly is, yeah. He's going to be a nuisance, isn't he, more than anything else? But it's not the first time we've seen the keeper come up and get a header in. It's a concern for Spain because they've totally dominated this game, but they've given Italy just a glimmer of an opportunity in stoppage time. I think we can safely say this is going to be the end of it because the referee's taken ages over this one in terms of sorting out what's happening in the middle, in terms of the pushing and shoving. Last chance.
Cambiasso to swing it in with his left boot towards the centre of the box, headed away by Spain, comes back for Cambiasso. Will he shift it to his left and get it in? No. Shifts to his right, gets across in towards a back stick, header won by Italy. It's going to drop Bastoni, who hits one, and it's off target and rolls out of play, and Spain will not concede right at the death as Donnarumma makes his way back towards his goal. The referee puts his whistle to his mouth and signifies an end to this game, an end to a game that, well, it was dominated by Spain, dominated by one man, Nico Williams, who created the only goal. As he crossed, it came off Morata, then bounced off Calafiori. And Spain come away with all 3 points. It's full time. It's Spain 1, Italy 0.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck